right, here we go. 6 o'clock at the MJ Morning Show. MJ and the crew here. And tell you right now, a whole lot different this morning than it was yesterday morning. What a freaking mess yesterday.
It was a mess. But it's all right. It's over. We survived. It's fine. Let's move on.
Hey, you know what troubled me? You know what bothered me the most?
Tell me.
Email I got. I'll share that in a second.
Okay.
No, I just want to address what happened yesterday. We were not on the air until 7:20-ish. So that means the first hour and 20 minutes of the show. You know, we do an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ, starting at about 7:25. You think that's coincidental that we were off the air for an hour and 20 minutes?
I actually do think it's a coincidence.
First of all, this place is a technical hellhole.
We know this.
All right. This radio, this is just, it's a hellhole. It's just a technical disaster.
Yes.
That the place has just been neglected for years and years. This place was neglected technically for years before we came back with the second iteration of the MJ Morning Show in October of 2020. And in the 4 years we've been here, there's been nothing done to technically rebuild this place, to modernize the facilities.
No.
And well, there are multiple issues, and we had a piece of equipment fail yesterday. I'm not going to dwell on this much longer. We had a piece of equipment fail yesterday, and it prevented the audio from our studio from getting to the transmission signal from the studio to our transmitter. So that's what happened. That's why you could not hear us. The transmitters were on, but there was just nothing coming out. We couldn't get our audio, this microphone and everything else, to the transmitter from our St. Pete studio. Transmitters in Tampa, studios are in St. Petersburg, and we use a microwave link to get to the transmitter. So that's what happened. And, my apologies for all of those that count on the MJ Morning Show being there. We were not. And we failed you. Well,
we were here.
Yeah, I mean,
we collectively as a broadcast organization, as a show, we were here.
Yeah. So, should I really say we failed you? I didn't fail anybody. I was here. I had my pile of prep. I had a whole show ready to roll.
And you didn't throw anything or explode like I thought you would have.
Oh, God, man, what a mess. Let me tell you what bothered me though, and then we'll move on here.
Right.
But yes, it was a rough day. Yesterday just sucked. It did. Because what it also did was I get here about 5:30 and I do my final kind of layout of the program, and I didn't have time to do that because I'm running to my car on the phone with the engineer.
All right.
And I didn't have an opportunity to really just, get my head in the game and get ready for the show yesterday. So even when we came back on, I just felt like I was just a sloppy, disorganized mess. Now, keep in mind, we didn't sit here with our thumbs up our butt when we were off the air. We continued to do the show because the streaming aspect worked. So MJTV was on, as well as our program on the various streaming outlets. We're on multiple streaming platforms. So we continued to do the program for those individuals.
Is this almost out of your system?
No, it's not.
So let me for the on-air part.
Let me share an email that I got. And this bothered me. You're causing people to be late for work today. I use Q104.7. I like that. This is what not Q105, which that's another problem. We should have branded as 104.7 FM years ago.
25 years ago.
I mean, one of our competitors is actually a 105. We're Q105. But we're 104.7 FM, and one of our competitors actually is a 105. We're not even a 105 on the dial. We're 104.7 FM. Anyway, don't get me started on that. So this person wrote that they use our radio station as my alarm. And when it went off, there was nothing, no sound. I overslept. Catching you now on the app. Good luck with the rest of the show. And this came from Vola. I'll just it's.
Well, everybody knows who it's from now because everybody knows somebody who. If you know Vola, that's the only Vola.
Well, that's why you were late
everybody
yesterday.
Knows.
I don't know if that's it's a Yahoo account.
Listen,
Vola.
We saw that you were a little disheveled and out of sorts yesterday. You must have had your alarm set to 104.7.
Yeah, Vola, I apologize. No, it bothered me immensely. So, Vola, I do apologize for what happened yesterday. We will move on now. And frankly, the clock is ticking. Just waiting for the next failure.
Until it happens again.
Well, because the biggest failure could happen at any time, and that's our main audio console in here could go dead because that's already happened for other radio stations in the building. So, again, technically this place is on massive overtime, and it's just been neglected for years and years and years, and it should have been updated a long time ago, and it wasn't. So the place continues to be a ticking time bomb, and the equipment's here. We just got to start building the new studios is what needs to happen. So again, yesterday was a pretty big deal for us to be off the air for 1 hour and 20 minutes, but we are back on the... Fester's like rolling his eyes a little bit. I mean, I have to address this.
Okay, you've addressed it. You've addressed it. We addressed it yesterday.
Well, but guess what? I have to address it again because we were off the air for an hour and 20 minutes. So I gotta
And these
mention
are the people
it.
who missed it.
Yeah, gotta
Missed us.
exactly.
It's a lot more than a mention.
Not everyone is listening right now. So again, I was distraught. I was upset. I was angry. I got home and I got drunk. I'm kidding. No,
Good.
I'm kidding.
What was your poison?
I'm kidding. I did not go home and get drunk.
You get all sauced
All
up.
right. Hey, the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher is back. Yeah. Luckily, we were back on the air 40 minutes before we launched a new major contest. Yeah, that's fantastic timing yesterday. So we did give away $1,000 yesterday to launch the contest with probably half of the listeners because people just tuned us out since we were off the air for the first hour and 20 minutes. But we will play the Inflation Smasher again right around 8 o'clock this morning, so stand by. Just getting rolling on an on-the-air Tuesday morning. It's Election Day. It's a primary election day today. Yeah, so make sure you exercise your right to vote. Back in a minute.
It's a Tuesday morning and our...
MJ and a gang here, Blondie. So I started watching some of the old Saturday Night Live episodes because they're available to stream on Peacock. They're all there. It's every season, every episode.
Yeah, you can go back and see the old ones.
So when I do show prep, I like to just kind of put something on in the background. And, I've been through Adam 12. I still have a couple of seasons left of Cops, which streams for free, but with ads on Pluto TV. They got a whole bunch of Cop seasons. Hawaii Five-0, the original. So I like to put something on.
Well, you just said Hawaii Five-0 like a normal person. You just said Hawaii.
Oh.
That's a big deal.
It is a big deal around here.
Okay. All right. So I started putting Saturday Night Live on.
Right.
Because every episode's on. And I'm watching kind of the first season now. No, not kind of. I am. I'm watching the first season. And it's great watching like the old musical guests. And the first season was 1975. But initially, I just kind of picked a random season. I was like, let me see if this streaming works well. And I picked up something from 1979. And Blondie was the musical guest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And, man, she was just hot and young and blonde and she looked great.
Yeah, she did.
So Blondie, 1979, and that's when they really kind of broke out. It was like 70, I think 78, 79, because I remember I had that cassette with One Way or Another and Heart of Glass. I had that cassette, which I think I totally burned out. I think I just wore the tape out. But I looked up Debbie Harry, and her name is Deborah Harry or Debbie Harry. And I looked up her age, and she's like 80 years old now. It's insanity. Yeah, look up her actual 78.
78.
Yeah. So she is 70. Just bring up her Wikipedia, would you please, so I can just be totally sure. All right, so she is 79, actually. That's why I wanted to go to Wikipedia. So Deborah Harry turned 79 on July 1st. She was born in 1945, just as World War II was ending. Summer of 1945. Blondie, Deborah Harry,
old lady,
is a year away from 80 freaking years old. Oh, my God. Holy crap. Anyway.
You think she will throw that around when she's in a nursing home? I was Blondie back in my day.
I did the song Rapture.
Yep, she's doing exactly what she needs to be doing for someone born in 1945.
Yeah, it's just hard to grasp that Blondie, Deborah Harry, is knocking on 80 years old. Hey, speaking of 80 years old, I just teased this a moment ago over the intro of Blondie. I was like, huh? What? What'd you say? Man, I saw a horrific item. This is just, man, this is a nightmare. This is worse than your Ferris wheel
in Germany
that caught on fire, man. And this is right here in the state of Florida, man. Did you see the story of the Florida doctor that was performing a surgical procedure at 84 years old and didn't have his hearing aids in and couldn't hear the patient screaming?
Yeah, colonoscopy.
Oh, my God. Of course it's Florida.
I mean,
and then I'm waiting to hear for the guy to, after surgery, then he drove through the front of a supermarket, hit the gas instead of the brakes. But this is just nuts. This is a Florida-based gastroenterologist disciplined after 2 recent colonoscopy procedures went off the rails, including one where he could not hear a patient that was not properly sedated because he wasn't wearing his hearing aids. The patient was not properly put under, and that's not his fault. That would be the anesthesiologist's fault. And where did they go? Did they leave?
Right? Were they taking a smoke break?
Dr. Ishwari Prasad. I think that might be the kid that runs through my neighborhood with his exhaust. Dr. Ishwari Prasad, 84 years old, has been placed on probation by the Florida Board of Medicine after the botched procedures. This is according to details from the Florida Department of Health. Yeah. USA Today, they were able to review the complaints. They got a tip, obviously. But the colonoscopies took place on June 5th of last year, right here in Tampa, at the Tampa Ambulatory Surgery Center.
Oh, man.
During the first, Dr. Prasad is said to have improperly delegated medical tasks to a surgical tech who did not have a license to practice medicine. The complaint reads, that also happened with one of these spine guys, Remember? Yeah. Oh, that's another deal there. The tech was instructed by Dr. Prasad to perform at least one task from a list, including scope insertion. Dude, that's sticking the hose up the butt. All right?
That's the
hose insertion.
Is that the most important part of that procedure? I think it might be.
Scope manipulation.
That's important too.
Yeah, manipulating the scope to be able to see if you got any polyps or something up there.
I guess everything's important in that procedure.
Up the keister. Manipulating an instrument over polyps or tissues, or removing polyps or tissue. And then in the second situation, the second problematic colonoscopy that day, on that fateful day, back in June of 2003, June 5th of last year, second procedure, the complaint says that Prasad began inserting the scope before the patient was fully sedated, causing him to scream out in pain. Prasad did not immediately stop the procedure when it became apparent that the patient was not fully sedated.
How long did he have the guy on the table screaming? I mean, even if you can't hear somebody, can't you see somebody moving or the butt wiggling or something where you're like, hey, this guy shouldn't be doing this?
Yeah, how long did this go on for? And again, where are the other people who should be part of this team?
Yeah, why didn't someone say, stop, or just, take his hand and stop him from jamming the hose up the butt?
Nope, Dr. Prasad's a solo act. Nobody must see my ways.
All right, so, again, this is a quote from the Florida State investigation here. This is from the Department of Health administrative review here. Prasad did not immediately stop the procedure when it became apparent that the patient was not fully sedated. The complaint reads, identifying his inability to hear the patient shout. So Prasad was hit with, I guess, last September, an emergency restriction order, and apparently the Miami Herald reported that the problem with the sedation was due to an issue with the patient's IV line. But again, where was the anesthesiologist? What a bizarre story here.
Now, Roxanne's right. He's probably out having a smoke break.
The patient began to yell and shout that he was in pain and could still feel everything. According to the order, Dr. Prasad continued to move the scope while the patient continued to scream. The outlet also wrote that during the second procedure, the hospital administrator in the room told Prasad that he had to wait, prompting the doctor to lean over the patient and shout, "I know!" What? But continued to manipulate the scope. During the investigation into the incidents, the surgical tech revealed that she routinely assists the doctor with an assortment of medical tasks beyond her training during colonoscopies.
That's great.
Indicating this was because Dr. Prasad was unable to perform them himself. My God. He got his Florida medical license in what? Oh, well, he must
He's 84.
Yeah, and he got his license back in 1990, which is, 34 years ago?
Yeah.
So, back in his 50s, he got his... Yeah, maybe he came from India or something.
Yeah.
It's my experience that in that particular genre of medicine,
wow,
butt doctors, a lot of them are of Indian descent.
Well, my doctor is Dr. Donna Powell, best around. So we can't let this one doctor in Tampa give our gastro doctors here in the Tampa Bay area.
Who said that was an issue?
No,
I'm just teasing. I'm making a joke.
Tampa has some of the finest.
Tampa has some of the finest
butt doctors.
Absolutely.
Some of the finest ass probers around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
so you're saying that Tampa has some of the best ass probers in the business.
I mean, all jokes aside,
Right.
my sister's life was saved by some of these guys from her stage 3 cancer.
Right.
Prasad got his medical license in 1990 in Florida. Has been fined $7,500. Will be required to pay $6,301.
$6,301.
$6,301.
That's like a Price is Right guess.
It is.
6,301, Drew. Let's see, it's too hot. 6,300. Ooh, 6,301.
We'll have more ass insertion games coming up next on The Price is Right. Anyway.
What a pain in the ass this whole sport is. Poor patient.
It is.
That's awful.
Yeah, the terms of his suspension require him to take a 5-hour continuing medical education class before August 7th of next year, 2025. All right, listen. The dude is 84 years old. Retire!
At what age do you not want somebody to probe your butt?
Exactly. Listen, I got to be honest. Who wants an 84-year-old doctor doing procedure? I mean, 84, dude. Just freaking retire.
That's an interesting point, though, because I have friends who go to doctors in other specialties that are in their 80s and are like, they're the best doctor. So it's a good question.
6:32 at the MJ Morning Show. Early Morons in the News. That was an appetizer.
That's the appetizer?
Is it really?
That was an appetizer for Morons in the News. But we've got a great pile of Morons in the News next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Also, All right, who's ready for Morons in the News?
I'm ready, but you know what I just realized, MJ? I had surgery at that surgery center we just talked about. I had surgery, and interesting to say.
Yeah, you just said what you said. I mean, what
There's a follow-up.
You want me to do a
There's a
dance? You want me
follow-up.
to do a dance over
No,
here?
I want to hear a reaction to it. That's called improv, hitting the ball back.
A lot of people, I'm sure, had surgery at the center. It's not the surgery center. It's the because what happens
Of course
is
not.
you have a whole variety of doctors that use these surgery centers. And if you're just tuning in, we just told the story of this doctor that's been disciplined by the state. 84-year-old doctor doing colonoscopy and didn't have his hearing aids in, couldn't hear the patient scream that the anesthesia apparently wasn't working, and just a bizarre freaking story. So Andrew said to me, hey, I had a little audio bite for you during the last segment. I'm like, all right, well, why didn't you just play it?
Well, yeah,
You know what Andrew had for us for the last segment with
What?
the colonoscopy doctor?
it has to do something with butts.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Good one.
I thought it would be like Sir Mix-a-Lot.
What?
I like
Big butts that I cannot
mean,
lie.
that doctor, he must love you.
Yeah, that's what Andrew had.
These better be good morons in the news.
Hey, Andrew, when you have a great little audio clip when we're talking about the anesthesia not kicking in and somebody screaming during colonoscopy and the doctor who's 84 years old can't hear because his hearing aids weren't in, just wave your hands in there and just let me know. We'll play your audio bite. All right, early morons in the news, and then folks, don't forget we have the amazing MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher that kicks in at about 8 o'clock this morning. So twice a day. It's going to be 8 a.m. and then again around 3 p.m. with Gino in the afternoon. So 8 a.m.-ish here on the MJ Morning Show. So make sure you're listening beginning at 8 a.m. We'll tell you when to call in, what number caller to be with the Inflation Smasher. If you're the right caller, you get to play the game and smash the hell out of inflation. See how much cash is behind the glass window. And you could win up to $1,000 and nothing less than $500. So good luck. 8 o'clock this morning here on the MJ Morning Show. Early morons in the news. This is awful. I would like to personally fly to Kansas and kick this individual in the face.
Would you fly into Wichita or would you fly into like the Kansas City area? Which is
By the
Missouri?
way, I wonder if Instagram has the reach to actually invoke bans and restrictions on me because of my hyperbole here on the MJ Morning Show, where I said that I would like to fly to Kansas and kick this person in the face. Yeah, I was restricted on Instagram because I posted the picture of the lawn that was destroyed in my neighborhood after the heavy rains, and the lawn guy for this neighbor apparently didn't bother to see that the ground was saturated and continued to drive a heavy lawnmower, one of the riding mowers, over the neighbor's lawn and just destroyed the lawn. I mean, turned it into like a mud pit. And I put the pictures up on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio, and I had a caption that said, if my lawn guy did this to my lawn, I would bash him over the head with a weed whacker. And then Instagram, they ban me, they restrict me, they suspended certain privileges on Instagram because they said I was inciting violence. It's a freaking joke. See, that's the problem with AI, and that's the problem with their algorithms. They can't determine what's like a real violent threat and what is clearly a joke.
Yeah, this was joke violence, not real violence.
All right, well, here's the reason why I want to fly to Kansas and kick this person in the face. And I'm wondering if IG has the ability, just to shut us. Oh, maybe that's what they did yesterday at 6 a.m. That's why we weren't on the air yesterday for an hour and 20 minutes.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, again, folks, if you're just tuning in, we had a technical issue yesterday. One of our crappy pieces of equipment died, and that's why we had dead air and nothing on this radio station for an hour and 20 minutes yesterday because of a technical failure with our phenomenal equipment, which should have been replaced here 10 years ago. So, hey, maybe that'll accelerate things. Maybe when you lose a whole lot of money, maybe that puts the slap of stink on things. Yes, Fester.
I just got a text from my mailman who said, hey, I can hear you guys this morning.
Yeah, hey, how about that?
So there you go, Nick.
Yeah, hey, thanks. Nick, the U.S. Hey, Nick, can you find the two priority mail letters that the Tampa airport lost of mine
I mean, if you really want,
with checks to the IRS.
help us out.
Yeah, help me out on that. Still, nothing. All right, anyway. So why do I want to fly to Kansas and kick somebody in the head? It was terrible. An employee of a rural Kansas school district repeatedly shoved a teenager with Down syndrome into a utility closet, hit the boy, and once photographed him locked in a cage used to store athletic equipment. The lawsuit was filed last Friday in federal court and said that this educator or this school employee assigned to the 15-year-old sent the photo to staff at Caw Valley District complaining that the teen was out of control, compared the teen to an animal, making light of his serious condition. I mean, listen, are you kidding me? You've got somebody that is essentially there to assist this kid with Down syndrome, and they're being treated like this? The teen's parents alleged in the lawsuit that the paraprofessional, that's what this person's called, a paraprofessional, did not have a key to the cage and had to enlist help from other district staff to open the door and release the son. So, wait a minute. This individual responsible for assisting the Down syndrome kid at school put the kid in some kind of locked equipment cage, closed the kid in, but didn't have the key to let him out. I'm assuming it was open, threw the kid in, locked it, and then didn't have the key to get the kid out? And had to go find somebody with the key?
That's bad all the way around.
Oh, my God. This is just a mess of a story. Yeah, the suit has a photo. Said it was not clear how long the teen was locked in the cage. Lawsuit names the paraprofessional and other education staff in the district at the school. This is nuts. So that's why I would like to fly out to Kansas and kick that person in the head. That's just egregious. That is outrageous. That is pure insanity. Now, I don't get this one. I'm trying to figure out what screw is loose in this dude's head. This is out of Georgia. This is the mayor of a small town in Georgia. This guy's been indicted on charges that he illegally left alcohol in a ditch so that state prison work crew members could drink while they were on the side of the road working on some kind of prison work group.
It sounds like the best mayor for prisoner rights ever.
Thompson Mayor Benjamin Benji Carey Cranford was indicted last week, arrested by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. He faces felony charges of furnishing prohibited items to inmates and attempt to commit a felony.
Oh, come on. It sounds like a good guy.
Oh, okay. The indictment issued last week in the McDuffie County Superior Court says the 52-year-old mayor drove to a store on June 3rd, bought a bottle of Seagram's Extra Dry Gin, left it in a ditch along Georgia 150 in the path of the work crew. Wait a minute. So this guy he's priming the ditch with alcohol so when the work crew gets out there, they can take a swig out of the bottle of Seagram's gin?
Is that what you want to take a big swig of as you're out there on a hot work crew? Let's drink some straight gin.
God, what is this guy thinking? Oh, man, I'm gonna make it a great day for the inmates that are working on the road crew in the ditches. I'm gonna stash some liquor for them so they can take some swigs while they're digging out weeds and crap or whatever they were doing in the ditches. I mean, what would possess this guy to do this? That's why we call it morons. The mayor of the freaking town is leaving. It's like a scavenger hunt. He's like leaving little, what do you call it? Little Easter eggs.
Yeah.
He left a Seagram's bottle of gin Easter egg in the ditch for the prison work crew to find and drink.
You leave a couple of cold beers or something.
That's unbelievable. All right, 6:53 at the MJ Morning Show. 7 o'clock hour starts a minute again. Don't miss it because we play the game again with the Inflation Buster. That happens coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. The MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher is on the way again. 8 o'clock, your chance to win up to $1,000. Nothing less than $500. Keep listening for your chance to play along. If your windows and doors need... I'm like a paranormal psychic over here. Andrew just asked me, hey, that last little MJ Morning Show announcement, the one that just ran, Andrew wants to know if he should run that every morning out of every commercial break.
Kind of feel that way.
From the rundown MJ Morning Show studios. Yeah, so run down that we were off the air at this time yesterday morning. In fact, we were off the air for an hour and 20 minutes. Station went off the air at 5:33 a.m., 27 minutes before the start of the morning show yesterday, and we didn't come back until about 7:20 yesterday morning because of a dilapidated, broken down piece of crap equipment that should have been replaced years ago. Hey, told you so. Now, and guess what? The real serious piece of equipment that could take us down for even longer, that still hasn't been replaced. And that gets replaced when we get our new studios, which they've been telling me that we're getting new studios since we got here, Fester, in October of 2020. I was told that we're getting a brand new studio. We're now in the middle of August of 2024, and we still don't have a new studio. Unbelievable. Hey, man, I got some great news. I don't think this is really going to affect you, Roxanne, or Fester or Andrew. I don't think this is going to affect me, but I'm sure this is going to be great news for some of our listeners. This is exciting news.
What is it?
On the STI, STD front.
I'm always interested in breaking news in that front.
It was always STD. It was always like,
Sexually transmitted diseases.
Yeah, it was always STD. And then suddenly, suddenly I woke up and it became STI.
What does STI even stand for?
Sexually transmitted infection.
Oh.
And it's just, where did that come from? Do you have any idea?
I guess you can get infections and diseases. Diseases and infections are two different things.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Phenomenal news. The FDA has authorized the first over-the-counter at-home test for syphilis.
Oh, good.
Oh, this is fantastic news.
Did you have to see a doctor before? I don't know.
So can you just go to like Target and just grab a? So I'm sure it's not in the store yet. I'm sure it's coming at some point. But there's a biotechnology company called Now Diagnostics, and they manufacture the kit. So I guess it's ready to go. So if it's been approved by the FDA, how quickly can you go buy the test over the counter at CVS, at Target, Walgreens, Walmart, the Publix pharmacy, Winn-Dixie pharmacy?
I'm on the CVS website, and they have some kind of STD test already. It's $90 over the counter.
And listen, if you think you might have the SIF, that's a low price to pay.
I mean, they're gouging you. I mean, hey, listen, if you think you have it, if you have the drip, we're going to charge you $90.
Hey, you know what I just thought of?
What?
The Price is Right. You know where they have all the products? You play the pricing games, right?
Right.
And I don't know. What is one of the games? Like maybe like the golf game, you got to putt the hole-in-one game or something, right?
Yeah, sure. The high-low game, the Plinko game.
Yeah, I mean, you have all the games where they're plugging products, and clearly those product manufacturers, they pay a promotional fee.
Sure.
To have, and Theraflu or, Kraft macaroni and cheese.
It's not coincidence that's on the Price is Right.
Exactly. All those companies are paying a fee for promotional consideration to have their products, advertised.
Featured.
That's the word I was looking for. Featured on the Price is Right. So I wonder if this company, can you imagine? You got some cough drops. You've got maybe some finished dishwasher liquid.
Yeah.
You have maybe, a bottle of Excedrin, and then the syphilis test, So,
and they have to look at the crowd. Yeah,
higher or lower.
No, stay.
Higher or lower for the home syphilis kit. Higher or lower?
I mean, they have home pregnancy tests. They have all kinds of home kits. I'm all for this home STI or STD kit.
All right. We have the Now Diagnostics Incorporated home syphilis testing kit. All right.
Okay.
The price here says $49.99. Is it higher or lower? That's right. The crowd's going
higher, lower, too much. Stay. All right, so the one that CVS currently sells, the common STI test kit, only covers chlamydia, gonorrhea, and trichomoniasis.
No, that would be
trihomo.
No, it's this
trichomonas.
It's trichomoniasis.
I don't know that I've heard of that one.
I don't know what the hell is trichomoniasis.
Honey, I gotta tell you, I got bad news. I got a case of trichomoniasis.
I just looked at it and I think I got some trichomoniasis down there. I don't even know what the hell that is.
Hey, doc.
But that's the point, is that CVS and others, they sell a home common sexually transmitted infection kit, but it didn't include syphilis. And now a kit is available to test for the SIF.
I'm just saying, if you need this common kit at CVS, it's buy one, get one 50% off.
Yeah, the new test called First to Know.
I hope. Instead of somebody else knowing first.
I hope you are the first to know so you don't spread your SIF somewhere else. And, you know, if syphilis is the one that if you leave it untreated, doesn't it make you go blind?
I think so.
Yeah. All right. So the First to Know uses a drop of blood to offer an early indication that a person may have syphilis with results available in about 15 minutes. That's like a COVID test. You know, boom.
Ocular syphilis can lead to blindness.
Is that what it is?
I don't know that downstairs syphilis leads to blindness.
What, did someone stick a wang in your eye? How do you get ocular syphilis?
I don't know. I mean, listen, your things are flying everywhere.
Who the heck knows?
Wear your shop goggles.
Anyway, so, hey, breaking news. The first over-the-counter at-home syphilis test is available. All right, I have, this is great. And let me see how many at home would like to play along with this. Fester, Andrew, feel free to jump in on this. All right. Do you know the top 5 most iconic fast food mascots of all time?
I think I have a couple of pretty good guesses.
The top 5. Andrew, feel free to jump in on this. All right. The top 5 fast food mascots. Think about, the fast food chains around the country and their mascots. Who do you think comes in at number 5? Andrew, any idea? Fester, any idea? Number 5.
At the bottom of the 5?
So coming in at number 5. So we're counting our way up to number 1. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hamburglar.
These are no
Hamburglar. Iconic?
No.
Well, the iconic one I would put at the top of the list.
No. I'm not talking about the side players. I'm not talking about accomplices.
I mean, top 5.
These are the major mascots. These are fast food. These are the headliners. All right, like the Hamburglar from McDonald's is not a headliner. He's more of a little side ride. He's an accessory. He's like a featured player. He doesn't have a starring role. All right, so
Wendy.
Let's try this again. So the number 5. You know what? Maybe I'm doing this wrong. Maybe we ought to just blurt out.
You got to go to number 1. Number 1, I think, is obvious.
All right, fine. Who's number 1?
Ronald.
Wrong.
That is correct.
Hold on.
Yes.
I said Ronald. Did Andrew say wrong?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, it's wrong. No, it is wrong. No,
Ronald McDonald is number 1?
I screwed it up. Yeah, he's number 2. I screwed it up. Because in my head,
Ronald McDonald has got to be the number 1 mascot of any.
No. See, this is where it becomes controversial. You know what? Listen. I saw this last night, and I was shocked at number 1 over number 2, and I was still so convinced that number 2 should be number 1 that I just screwed up. All right. So number 2 is Ronald McDonald, the most famous fast food mascots of all time. Number 2 is Ronald. So who's number 1?
Burger King?
No. Burger King is number 3.
Jack in the Box, which I know we don't have here in Florida.
Well, they're coming.
Yeah, but we don't
Jack in the Box is in Tallahassee. There's we
don't have them here in Tampa.
Yeah, I think they're on the way. Nope. Jack in the Box is number 5. All right. So, folks, listen to this. Number 2 is Ronald McDonald.
Amazingly.
Number 3 is the King from Burger King. Number 5 is Jack in the Box. Who's number 4? You've already said it. Or somebody.
Wendy.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 4 is Wendy?
Number 4 is Wendy.
Is she a mascot? She's a real person.
But it's still a mascot.
She exists.
It's an image representing the chain. So Wendy was the daughter of Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's. All right, so you got this now?
Yes.
Number 5 is Jack in the Box. Number 4 is Wendy from Wendy's. Number 3 is the King from Burger King. Number 2 is Ronald McDonald, which, again, I'm flabbergasted that Ronald McDonald is not the number 1 fast food mascot.
Is number 1 a burger place?
Number 1.
What, Colonel Sanders?
Yes. It's Colonel Sanders is number one.
I wasn't even thinking that until Andrew said, "Is it a burger place?"
Yeah.
You know what? Worldwide, maybe, because like KFC has like 10,000 locations in China.
McDonald's still has more locations worldwide than Kentucky Fried Chicken, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know, but man.
Yeah, I was taken aback. I was shocked. I mean, even as I'm starting to do the story, in my head, it's like Ronald McDonald's got to be number one. No! Ronald McDonald is number two.
When you say mascot, though, I think of like a cartoon character, not a real person. What, Harlan Sanders or Wendy Thomas?
Colonel Sanders is number one, which I'm sorry, was just a shocker to me. And what are we missing? Are there any other mascots? Are there any other fast food places like
I mean, Subway doesn't have a real mascot. They have a stupid ass.
Like Taco Bell doesn't have a mascot.
They used to have a very offensive mascot, the Sleeping Mexican.
Oh no, the dog.
Dog, yeah.
Oh, the
Yo quiero
Chihuahua.
Taco Bell.
Hold on, what are you saying? What are you saying?
Don't you remember the old Taco Bell signs had like a guy in a sombrero leaning against it?
No.
All right, I gotta find it.
No, dude, you're thinking of a different
Taco Bell.
You're thinking of a different taco place.
Old logo.
Yeah, no, they have the dog for Taco Bell has never had a sleeping Mexican dude in a sombrero on their side.
I swear, I remember a guy.
You're delusional. What the hell are you saying? They
didn't have a guy in
Taco Bell has never had a sleeping Mexican dude taking a siesta in a sombrero on their side.
I might be wrong on this.
You are wrong on it.
I still have to investigate it.
You are wrong. I'm going to tell you right. You don't need to investigate.
There it is. That's what I think it was.
What do you mean?
The old Taco Bell sign. That's not a person with like a sombrero on a bell. I always thought that was like a sleeping Mexican man.
It looks like Festa found an old picture of a sign. It looks like a poncho. It's like a poncho is hanging down from the Taco Bell.
And who wears ponchos?
Hold on.
People.
Listen to me. There's on an old Taco Bell sign, there's a sombrero on top of like a poncho, and then it sits on top of the bell.
I always thought it was the sleeping Mexican.
Underneath the sombrero?
Yes, like he's sleeping. He's looking because the sombrero's at an angle, like his head's down.
So what is this, like a 1970s version of their sign? I can see that.
I'm sorry. I vaguely recalled it.
All right, 7:16 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. We start an hour and 20 minutes of non-stop MJ next in minutes. 1 hour, 20 minutes non-stop MJ and your shot at up to $1,000 with the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher is on the way. Smashing high prices, smashing inflation, your chance to grab free money happens at 8 o'clock right here on the MJ Morning Show, less than 45 minutes away in that vicinity. So stand by. If you are looking... 727 at the MJ Morning Show. I've got a warning about an appliance in your house. Now, do I think that this is commonplace? I don't. But this family is trying to warn America, do not do this in your house, in your kitchen, while you sleep. This was a terrifying situation.
Is it a common appliance?
As common as it gets, Fester.
All right.
A common appliance, and a family was terrorized. And I guess millions of Americans do this. Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, my wife does this. I'm going to have to warn Michelle, don't do this. Stop it. Knock it off. What should you not do?
What appliance is it?
Dude, that's part of the quiz here.
Okay.
What should you not do in your home? This is a major appliance before you go to sleep. I actually didn't know this was a problem, but this might actually be the only case of this in the world, but this family wants you to know about it.
Defrost your refrigerator?
Simone Anderson. No, defrost your...
I don't know.
What is this,
Defrost your
1940?
freezer? I don't know. I'm trying
what
to
do you
think
mean
of stuff you do.
defrost your refrigerator?
What do you do if we go to bed? I don't know. Is this a comment? Is it like a put your oven on the clean cycle where it has like burn all the crud off?
You know, that's a good guess. That's a very good guess, but that would be incorrect.
Is it leave a crock pot on your counter?
Well, no, crock pots are made to slow cook.
Yeah. Okay.
I haven't heard of many crock pots bursting into flames.
Neither have I, but you know, it's a
oh my God, the crock pot's on fire.
It's a news story, so it has to be something. Run the dishwasher?
Yes. That is correct, dude. Yes. I mean, it seems like it is the antithesis of what you would think about an appliance catching on fire and like burning your kitchen down, because the dishwasher, I mean, it's just flinging water everywhere, right? Well, I mean, it's contained inside the shell, but millions of Americans load up the dishwasher after dinner. I know Michelle, she'll, before we go to bed at night, we'll be downstairs. We're getting ready to go upstairs, go to bed, and Michelle will start the dishwasher. And Simone Anderson is saying, stop! Don't do it! Don't run your dishwasher. Yes, Simone Anderson and her family, they live in Kansas, and started the dishwasher, went to bed. Next thing they know, their house is on fire. Their dishwasher burst into flames as they were sleeping earlier this month, earlier in August.
That's awful.
Yeah. Anderson said that she carried out this routine event, starting the dishwasher. She loaded up the machine with dirty dishes. This was in their home in Kansas. Her husband's Paul. They got two kids, Nola, 4, and Ansel, who's 1. And on August 7th, so like 2 weeks ago, the dishwasher caught on fire. Within an hour of falling asleep, she was startled awake. The home smoke detectors were going off.
Yeah, I imagine they would.
I don't know, it doesn't quite sound like that. That's the anti-theft device at your local department store. But, you know, the smoke detector's going off, and they rush out of the master bedroom. They run downstairs, and their kitchen is glowing orange with flames. I mean, have you ever heard of a dishwasher catching on fire? Anderson said that her husband had gone to bed before her. He said there were flames coming out from below the dishwasher and on the side of the dishwasher. It was completely engulfed in flames. Oh, there we go. There you go. That's a smoke detector right there. So they rushed upstairs. They had to go grab their kids. They've got a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. They had to grab the kids and then evacuate the house. Smoke filled up the entire home within minutes.
Yeah, sure. And smoke
But-
rises, so it would have got the kids first.
Yeah, let me. Well, they were all upstairs.
Oh,
the whole
okay.
family was upstairs. But let me tell you one thing here: smoke detectors work.
Yeah.
So make sure, number one, that you change the batteries in your smoke detector. Some smoke detectors are hardwired into your electrical with a battery backup. Just make sure that your smoke detector's battery, what do they say? When we change clocks every year, change the battery in your smoke detector. When we do the spring forward or the fall back, go ahead and use that. I mean, a lot of fire departments kind of push that meme that, hey, good reminder when we set the clocks ahead and back that you change the battery in your smoke detector. But in this case, smoke detectors save them.
Hold on. They want you to change your battery twice a year in your smoke detector?
I've always been told that you should change the battery when we change clocks. So that would be twice a year.
I might be behind on mine. I gotta change it today.
But can you imagine? It was way too big of a fire for the husband to put out himself. So they evacuate the house, and the house was nearly burned down. I mean, the extensive damage in the kitchen. They're in Topeka, Kansas. Fire department shows up, and the fire investigators claim that there was some kind of malfunction within the dishwasher. Well, duh. And it caused the massive blaze. The whole house was covered in soot, smoke damage throughout the entire house. The entire kitchen has to be torn out. Every square inch of the house has soot and smoke damage. So the whole house has soot and smoke. Have you ever heard of a dishwasher going up in flames?
What did we talk about last week?
I never heard of this.
What appliance did we have last week that lights on fire, that had several fires start because of it? Was it the dog in the oven or something?
Oh, it was the oven.
Yeah.
It was was it Samsung?
Yeah, they recalled like a 2 million.
1.1 million range stoves.
Yeah.
A stove and oven, a range, because the button or the front knobs were easily depressed, turning the oven on and causing fires. Because listen, people put stuff on the stovetop like it's a storage bin. Folks, don't put crap on your stovetop.
It's not an extension of the countertop.
No, and a lot of people treat it that way. That's always bothered me. Don't put anything flammable. Don't put a cardboard pizza box. That's happened. There's video of a dog trying to get the pizza that was left in a box on top of the stove, and the dog jumps up to try to get the pizza off the stove and push the buttons on the stove. It might have been the Samsung range. So Samsung is like recalling or offering safety kits. I think it was like 1.1 million stoves from Samsung. Yeah, good memory there, Fester.
It was last week, so I'm surprised too. But is this something I've never heard of? Another dishwasher fire?
I've never heard of a dishwasher. But listen, if it's an electrical appliance and if it has any kind of a short or malfunction, I mean, it just seems like an oxymoron that a dishwasher, catches on fire.
The wettest of the appliances.
Exactly. Well, no, I guess a washing machine would be as wet.
I guess so, yeah.
So there you have it. All right, don't forget, folks, we are at 7:36. We just started an hour and 20 minutes of Nonstop MJ. So very excited about that. Every day around 7:25-ish, we start an hour and 20 minutes of Nonstop MJ. So great content, obviously, every single day. But now we've added the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher to the mix. We are about 24, 25 minutes away from the Inflation Smasher. Your chance to call up. I'll just tell you when to call in. I'll tell you what number caller to be. I'll give you the phone number to call in case you don't know it by heart. And if you're the right number caller just after 8 o'clock, you'll get to play the game and win up to $1,000 as we are just bashing the hell out of high prices and inflation with your chance to get your hand on up to $1,000 and nothing less than $500. Hey, remind me, I got to call Chloe a little later on.
Is she on her way to work pretty soon?
She leaves a little after 8 o'clock. Why do you think I need to call Chloe today?
Oh, I know why.
Go on, say it.
Today's her birthday.
It is. You know what? Let me. She should be up
Is
now.
she awake?
Yeah, she should be awake.
She's 22?
3.
3.
Yeah. Calling Chloe. She should be up and at him because she's got to get to work soon. Yeah, today's Chloe's 20. Hello?
Hi.
Chloe,
Yes.
are you awake?
Yes.
Well, I hope so. You got to be at work by 8:30, right?
Yeah.
All right. Chloe, do you know why we're calling you right now?
No idea why.
No idea at all why we're calling you?
I'm kidding.
Chloe, it's a big day.
So, Chloe, why are we calling you?
Because it's my birthday.
It is. Happy 23rd birthday, Chloe.
Thank you.
Hey, I posted a picture of you on my Instagram just a few minutes ago. I posted a picture of you when you were 5 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, and actually, I posted it because of another story, but I kind of just, it's kind of special. It kind of fitting because today's Chloe's birthday. All right, so 23 is not really a special birth. 18 is a big birthday. 21, when you could legally drink, Chloe, that was a big birthday. 23, listen, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. I'm excited. I'm happy. You're a great daughter most of the time. And
You're a good father most of the time.
most
You
of
have
the
your
time.
moments.
But 23 is not that exciting of a birthday. But listen, it is your birthday, so happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So,
All right.
Chloe, I heard that, and I believe this, you celebrate your birthday up until 25, but then after 25, nobody really cares, and then you only acknowledge the decades.
Oh.
Oh, what are you saying?
So while you're young, 21's a big birthday, and then you're still young until you're like 25, and you can make a deal about your birthday. Oh, I'm 24, I'm 25. But when you're like 27, nobody cares. Then the only time that's appropriate for a grown adult to acknowledge their birthday in any kind of over-the-top fashion is on the decades. I know people that celebrate their birthday every year, and it's the most ridiculous thing. My friend...
No, dude, most people celebrate their birthday every year.
He's like, I'm having a big birthday party. I'm like, I'm turning 46. I'm like, I'm like, who cares?
All right, I see what you're saying. All right. So, yeah, as humans, we tend to memorialize like the round numbers,
Yes,
or
the decades.
we come up with these what we perceive to be milestones.
Hey, listen, MJ, I want you to know it'd mean a lot if you came to my 33rd birthday party. Who cares? 33. Go to work.
Anyway, Chloe, happy birthday. Do you want to know what I posted of you?
I already saw it.
Oh, you did? All right, look at. Hold on. You saw it before I mentioned it, or you just checked it out now?
Yes. I saw it before I mentioned it.
Oh, do you have? Am I set up for Instagram? Do you get alerts? Do you get notifications when I post on Instagram? Is that it?
No, you're not that special.
Okay.
All right. So here's what I posted, and it's not just because of Chloe's birthday today, but I had a story that I just didn't get to yesterday. Yesterday was a very tumultuous day. We were off the air for an hour and 20 minutes from the start of the show until 7:20. Yesterday was a mess. I couldn't wait for yesterday to end. All right, so the reason why I posted this picture, it's on my Instagram. There was a whole story about Orlando's Gatorland.
What's going on over there?
No, just that, with all of the massive theme parks, Disney and
Universal
and
Legoland.
Here in Tampa Bay, we've got Busch Gardens. With all of the huge Florida destination amusement parks that after decades, that Gatorland has survived. I mean, you've had other little theme parks, small, players that have come and gone over the years. Like, is the parrot jungle and the monkey jungle still around down in Miami? I don't know.
I mean, Marineland is still around, right?
No,
Is
anyway.
it? I don't know.
But listen, the story was that, Gatorland, they've beaten the odds, with all of these massive theme parks, that after all of these years that Gatorland is still successful. And Michelle took the kids to Gatorland in 2006, summer of 2006. Chloe was 5 years old. Julian was 2 years old, I think close to 3. So, and Chloe is sitting on the back of an alligator. So the alligator handler has the alligator's mouth, closed with like black electrical tape. And Chloe is literally sitting on the back of the gator with her hands on the gator's snout as Julian looks on. And then the second picture is Julian on the back of the gator. And then the third picture is they're standing at the entrance where they have the big gator mouth and the teeth where you walk through the front door.
The iconic entrance.
And it looks like it's right out of 1967, doesn't it?
That's awesome.
And Gatorland is still there, still thriving. And I posted these cool pictures. Chloe on the phone is 23 today, and I got a picture of her at Gatorland when she's 5. And it's on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. That is Certified MJ Radio if you want to take a look. Hey, happy birthday, Chloe.
Thank you. I think Chet sent something to the house, so I got to go.
Hold on. Chet, your boyfriend, sent something to the house at 7:43?
Yes, I got to go now.
Well, how do you know he sent something to the house?
Because he just texted me to go outside.
Oh, wait. He better not have done that whole lawn thing.
What?
The whole lawn sign thing?
He better not have done the huge, lawn takeover where they put all the balloons and the happy birthday Chloe in the front yard.
No, I got to go, though, okay?
Boy, listen to the excitement.
Hold on. No, how about you walk out with the phone and tell us what's...
He wanted to be on the phone with me.
Conference in Chet.
Oh, geez. What is there, a clown parade in the street in front of the house?
What is this, like a juggler in a strippogram?
All right, Chloe, take a picture. If there's something outside for your birthday from your boyfriend, Chet, take a picture and send it to me right away.
Okay, goodbye.
All right. Oh, geez. Do you think he did the... I hope it's not the whole lawn thing where they...
If he did... He's on the outs with you. You want to know a way to piss off MJ? Put a sign in his yard.
Listen, if that's for you, I have no problem. If and there are a bunch of companies out there that do the front lawn birthday cards.
Happy birthday, graduation, big accomplishments.
If that's your thing, I support you 100%. If you own a business that does that, I hope you do extremely well. I'm just saying that I'm just not the type of guy that wants the huge birthday stuff in the front yard.
MJ,
hold on. Think about this.
Yeah.
So Chloe's boyfriend apparently must have just texted her while she was on the phone with us, while I'm wishing her a happy birthday. And it seems the boyfriend, Chet, said, go outside. There's a surprise. What the hell could it be? What is there, like a pachyderm in the front yard? I mean, what is... I just like saying that instead of elephant. I think
if Chet did bring an elephant to the house, that would be pretty awesome. The picture you posted of the kids at Gatorland.
All right.
I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that the gator handler has a striking resemblance at first glance.
To you?
To me.
It does.
One of the commenters even pointed that out right away.
Wait a sec, but the gator handler is about 100 pounds lighter than you.
I'm saying just a quick glance, he is ugly and he is balding and he is a little bit of a big guy, but not nearly as large as me.
The gator handler at Gatorland, I wonder if he's still there all these years later. So you're saying that the gator handler... it's like he was on Ozempic back in 2006. If he were you, is that? I'll do the alligator mix. How about? There we go. Oh yeah.
So
anyway, take a look at the picture of the kids at Gatorland 2006 on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio, Certified MJ Radio. What were you saying?
No, you should tag Gatorland _Orlando in your post.
Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead and do that.
All right.
Oh, you know what? Instagram turned off my collaborator button.
Oh.
Yeah. So my collaborator invite button disappeared, and I think that's a result of me continuing to get punished by Instagram because of the lawn post where I took the picture and the video of this lawn in the neighborhood that the lawn guy destroyed by riding a big mower over it when the lawn was saturated from all the rain we had like 10 days ago. And I posted the picture of this destroyed yard with just all kinds of lawnmower tracks. I mean, wrecked. A beautiful green lawn, wrecked. Because the lawn guy didn't have the wits to say, you know what? I can't put this 800-pound mower on a completely saturated lawn and just wreck this lawn in the neighborhood. I took a picture and I captioned it with, hey, if my lawn guy did this in my house, I would bash him over the head with a weed whacker. And Instagram said that I'm inciting violence, and they pulled my post down and they restricted me. And I think part of the restriction is they took away my collaborator invites on Instagram.
They hit you where it
bastards.
hurt.
Yeah.
My son thought that gravedigger.
That's what it looks like.
Drove through the yard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Did you show your son that?
He's looking at my phone. He's looking over my shoulder over the weekend at my phone. And he's like kind of and I pulled up Instagram for a second, and this picture popped up, and he's like, "What's that?" I go, "This is MJ's neighbor's yard." He goes, "Looks like gravedigger was in town last weekend. They had it at Emily Arena." And he's like, "The monster trucks went to their yard."
Unbelievable. And I think I'm being punished by Instagram for this. There is a story on a flight that is creepy. I don't know what this guy was after or what the game was. It didn't seem like he was hitting on the woman, but tell me how creepy this is. This was a social media post on X, formerly Twitter. Do we have to say that anymore? Do people know that X is formerly Twitter still? Do they?
I think.
Do I need to continue to say that?
Just say it to piss off Elon.
All right. So a woman posted a story. She's on a commercial flight. She didn't say, where she was flying to and from, but this is just bizarre. A guy slips this woman a note on the flight. The guy is behind her. She's in the row in front of him, and she says that this was just weird. She describes how a male passenger, a stranger, sitting behind her, handed her a note. So hands her a piece of paper. I don't know whether it was over the seat or if it was like through the seat or around the seat. The guy in the row behind hands this woman a note. On the outside, I guess it said something like, "Take this and read it later. It's not creepy."
I mean, when you say it like that.
So this guy's trying to decreep what he already has a feeling might be perceived as a little creepy. So the woman takes the note, and she just said she felt obliged, that she had to take the note. And guess what was in the note? It was a handwritten note, and it complimented her on her hair length.
Okay.
With $100 bill inside.
Oh.
First of all, you have a guy behind, and what? He's turned on by the woman's hair length, slips her a note, says, "Hey, read this later. It's not creepy." No, it is creepy. So compliments this woman on her great hair length, and there was $100 bill inside. So she's like, "Oh my God, what is this?" And the passenger, the woman who got the note with the long hair, she then also said that she did not find it creepy because the admirer did not leave a number. So it's not like he was trying to pick her up. It wasn't like, "Hey, your hair is great. It's long. It's turning me on. Here's my number." So the guy, so what was the purpose of the gesture? If it wasn't a pickup attempt, so he wasn't like, "Read this now." And hopefully that would strike a conversation, that he could make a move. It wasn't like, hey, your hair is fabulous. I love how long your hair is. Here's my phone number. I would love to get a drink with you. So what was this guy's deal? So no contact information. So she's saying that the creep level was reduced a little bit because there was nothing indicative of an attempt at a pickup of her on the airplane.
It was a compliment and a bonus.
But then the $100 bill.
A reward?
What are you giving her a $100 bill for? What, for a style? For a per? Oh, you know what? Your roots are showing. Here, put this $100 towards a new hair dye job or something.
No, but that's kind of aggressive. He sounds like he was just passing along a compliment, and here's a little something just to be nice. I have to see a picture of the hair now.
Here she is. I guess this supposedly. Oh no, that's not her. That's a stock photo. No, she did not include a photo. But that's just weird. $100. What? I mean, why? Am I missing anything? So what was this guy? Was he getting his thrill just by doing this? And he wasn't trying to consummate anything by, providing a phone number? Was it just the thrill of handing the stranger the note? And then the $100?
I mean, he's got to do this often.
Was it almost like you're like a hair hooker? Here's $100. Thanks for showing me your hair. I mean, I wonder if he sniffed it. I wonder if any hair was like over the seat. Gee, your hair smells terrific.
That's my trick.
You know the social media videos and pictures that have shown up, and I'm telling you they're staged. Like where the passenger in front throws their hair back and it's like completely blocking the monitor or the little TV screen of the passenger in the seat behind.
Yeah.
Because the TV screens are mounted in the rear of the seat in front of you. And remember some of those videos or some of those stories that popped up. Oh, look at this! And those were all faked. There were several that floated around. Maybe 5, 6, 8, 10 years ago, whatever. It's been a while, but those I think were all faked. But that's a weird story. All right, a couple of additional flight stories. For whatever reason, when it rains, it pours here. A Delta flight attendant hit a passenger multiple times with a loaded beverage cart, according to a lawsuit. So, it's not funny. I'm sorry. How does a Delta flight attendant unexpectedly hit a passenger multiple times?
Was the person in the aisle? They'd have to be, right?
A Delta Airlines worker struck a passenger multiple times with a beverage cart, leaving her seriously injured on a flight from New York to Paris. Gail Hamilton lives right here in Florida. She was in an aisle seat on board Delta Flight 263. This is June 21st, 2022, when a flight attendant unexpectedly struck her multiple times with the loaded cart, hurting her right shoulder. Wait a sec. So, was she leaning completely over into the aisle? How is her shoulder? I mean, if you're sitting in your seat, if you're sitting properly, I mean, how does the beverage cart hit your shoulder? And then how do you do it repeatedly? So she's seeking unspecified damages, accuses Delta and the unidentified employee of negligence for failing to properly train workers and failing to safely operate the cart in the aisle of the airplane. Yeah, Hamilton's attorney and Delta declined comment on the story. So
now I have been grazed with like my arm, because I'm a larger guy, in the aisle by the beverage cart, but not repeatedly.
You hang over significantly.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, maybe she was your size. I have no idea.
My side fat has been brushed by the beverage cart, as has my shoulder and arm.
And then we have this. I've never heard of this ex-NFL player. Have you ever heard of Gosder Cherilus?
Oh, yeah. He's on my fantasy team.
I get it. Really?
That's the name of my fantasy team.
No, seriously.
The Gosler Chandelus.
Quit being a wise ass. All right. Have you ever heard of the NFL's Gosder Cherilus?
I don't even know how to spell that. I wouldn't even. I can't spell either name.
All right. Gosder Cherilus, a former lineman for 9 seasons.
Really?
In the NFL, is facing several federal charges. Why? Andrew, what?
Played for the Buccaneers in 2015, 2016.
Wait a second. What? Are you serious? All right, Feston, have you ever heard of Gosder Cherilus?
I mean, I'm not the biggest football fan in the
Listen,
world, but no.
I pretty much have, over the years, I probably have retained the names of probably most of the Bucks that I would probably be able to just say, oh, yeah, I remember that name. I mean, I might not be able to rattle off, but I remembered. I mean, and it's certainly a name like Gosder Cherilus.
I would never forget that name.
All right, Roxanne, have you ever heard of Gosder Cherilus, who played for the Bucks?
I'm trying to think what I was doing in 2015 and 2016 that he passed me by that I never heard about Gosder Cherilus. So it's not coming to mind.
Wait a second. Those are the years you were in a coma after the boat accident.
That's right.
MJ.
Yes. You came out in what? You came out of the coma in 2017, right?
It was 2017 that I opened my eyes again and was like, oh, what's happened?
Exactly. They pulled the feeding tube out and everything. All right. Hey, Andrew. So wait a minute. Say that again. He was a first round. He was a first round draft pick
For the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
In 2008.
All right. Now
he played for Detroit. Then he played for Indianapolis, and then he was 2 seasons with the Buccaneers.
Did he see any field time? I never heard Gene Deckerhoff say, "What a great play by Gosder Cherilus."
Offensive tackles usually don't get that kind of.
I mean, yeah, as far as linemen go.
What a great play from Gosder Cherilus.
I mean, the only time Gene Deckerhoff would have said his name is when he screwed something up. Offsides by
Gosder, damn it.
Gosder. I've never heard anybody else in the world named Gosder.
That's the name that you would absolutely remember, Gosder Cherilus. All right, so here, why are we bringing this guy up? He's accused of peeing on an elderly woman on a flight for about 20 seconds from Boston to Ireland.
Oh, 20 seconds is a long time.
That's a long stream.
That's a long pee break.
I mean, a lot can happen in 20 seconds. Imagine 20 seconds of dead air. It's a long time.
Hey, guess what?
Peeing on you.
We had an hour and 20 minutes of dead air yesterday. Yeah, 20 seconds is eternity. An hour and 20 minutes of dead air yesterday morning with our broken radio station from 6 to 7:20 a.m. That was death on a stick.
We were off the air yesterday as long as it takes Gosder Cherilus to pee in 2 months.
This place is in a coma on a feeding tube. All right, so, I mean, is this nuts? A Buccaneer that we've never heard of, Gosder Cherilus, is on a flight from Boston to Ireland and pees on a woman allegedly for 20 seconds.
Wow.
On Monday, the 40-year-old resident of Wakefield, Massachusetts, Gosder, appeared in a Boston district court where he pleaded not guilty to charges of disorderly conduct, disturbing a flight crew, and resisting arrest. So here are the details. Delta Flight 154 left Logan International Airport at 12:12 a.m. on Sunday, which was more than 3.5 hours late. It returned to Boston at 2:33 a.m., according to the issue on the airplane. Here's the statement from Delta. Delta Flight 154 from Boston to Dublin, Ireland on August 17th returned to Boston Logan due to an unruly customer and was met by law enforcement, according to a Delta spokesman. Delta has zero tolerance for unlawful behavior and will cooperate with law enforcement to that end. We apologize to our customers for a delay in their travel. The plane was 36,000 feet above Halifax, Nova Scotia, when Cherilus approached a 78-year-old woman from Maine in seat 4C. We're talking first class, baby. When he fully exposed his genitals and began urinating on an elderly female, emptying his entire bladder for approximately 20 seconds, according to the court documents.
Did she have a timer going?
This guy unzipped, whipped it out, and pees on a fellow first-class passenger.
This is a very large individual.
The entire flight experienced extreme shock alarm, were in fear for their safety because the dude is 6'6" and 280 pounds, according to the arrest report.
Wow. He's a big guy.
Witnesses tried to intervene by grabbing his hands from his genitals and demanding that he return to his seat. Wait a minute. So his hands are still on his wang and other passengers are trying to rip his hands off his unit?
I don't know that would have changed anything.
Oh, my God.
So, MJ, I will say, now that I see the guy and I saw his Buccaneers jersey, I do recall seeing the jersey, but he's an lineman. Offensive linemen get lost in the mix. He was playing for the Buccaneers when the uniforms looked like alarm clock numbers.
All right. Then Cherilus confronted a 68-year-old Utah man in seat 3D and began arguing over the seat and then struck him with his right hand.
Oh, God. Thank God you said right hand.
Cherilus returned to his seat where he passed out. What the? Was this guy on drugs, on alcohol? What would cause this behavior?
I think a good Xanax might cause that behavior.
Cause it or prevent it? But doesn't Xanax relax you?
No, Roxanne.
Yeah, but if you're like sleepwalk and, if you have to pee and you've taken a Xanax, your pee mechanism might tell your body to go walk and pee on a passenger and you're still asleep while you're doing it.
You know what? He might have been on like a Mr. T. Remember the A-Team? They had a drug Mr. T every time they flew?
Yeah, because Mr. T hated to fly.
Mr. T hated to fly in the old A-Team show.
How you gonna fly, face?
So maybe he had a prescription or something. Hey, Roxanne, when you flew to Rome, you did a teledoc thing. You had Xanax prescribed for you. Did you pee on anybody on your flight over?
I didn't, but I vaguely remember sending you guys like a video message. I was like, I'm on my flight now.
Did anyone have to intervene and grab your hands off your wang?
Doug didn't take a Xanny from you, did he?
No, he didn't. No, but Doug says no to all drugs.
What a bizarre freaking story. That is just nuts beyond belief. I mean, really, think about it. Do me a favor. Fester.
Yes.
What could possibly have caused this behavior?
I mean, he had to have been on some kind of medication or drug. He had to have been on some kind of sedative or something that kind of removed him from reality, where he thought this old lady looked like a urinal.
Yeah. I mean, he was like in a state of, half awake, half asleep state.
It is 8:05 at the MJ Morning Show. We will play the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher in just a matter of moments. First, though, I'm sorry I laughed at this. I mean, all right, it's kind of rude. And some people would say, oh, man, that's looking a gift horse in the mouth. Do people still say that? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
I mean, when appropriate. I love all the old school sayings.
Well, this is insane. An Amazon worker is pissed off. Why is the Amazon worker pissed off? The Amazon worker claims that a customer has like a dish on the front porch for delivery workers to give them a snack. Hey, thanks for delivering the package. Hey, grab a snack.
That's sweet.
Yes, in theory, it's a very nice thing. So this dude, his name is Musgrave, Derek Musgrave, and he's an Amazon delivery driver bringing the package to this woman's porch, and she has this little setup. Oh, thank you to all my, FedEx, UPS, U.S. Postal Service, Amazon drivers. So what could possibly be wrong with free snack offerings on the front porch for delivery drivers? What could possibly be wrong with this?
Allergic reactions?
Well, hang on. Let me just play Mr. Derek Musgrave, the Amazon driver.
All right.
Check this out.
There's a special place in hell. There's a special place in hell for the people that leave out expired snacks for the Amazon drivers. Especially the snacks that expired in 2017. Just went and dropped off a package, said, "Oh, thank you for your hard work. Grab a snack." So I grabbed one, looked down, expired in 2017. You wouldn't feed it to your kid or your dog, but you want me to eat it? Go to hell.
He's not wrong.
The snacks, this is 2024, and the snacks this woman left out for the Amazon driver, another driver, expired in 2017?
Yeah, that's a big gap.
Oh, my God. So this woman puts out expired snacks. First of all, the whole, oh, this is expired. It's a Best By date. But listen, if something had a Best By date of June 24th, all right, you're fine eating it now, unless it's like a carton of spoiled milk or something. But come on.
If it's a packaged product that you bought in the store, if it's 3 weeks or 3 months after the date.
Listen, you've got some Tempeh or Philadelphia brand cream cheese in your refrigerator, and it had a Best By date of July 1st or something. That is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. So if you have snacks that are a couple of months out of date, no problem. But I kind of concur with Mr. Musgrave here that snacks that had a Best By date of 7 years ago, that's pushing it a little bit.
Have you guys ever opened up a bag of really expired potato chips and the oil in the chip just soured?
Ew.
You opened it up and you could smell.
No,
I've never had that happen.
How old are these potato chips that you've opened?
I had one in the back of the cupboard. It must have been there since like 2010.
Oh my God!
And I opened it up and I was like, and you smelt it. It was just rotted. It smelled awful. The oil soured.
Let's do the inflation smasher right now. And because I got to take some phone. I've got a couple of things I need to take phone calls on. So sometimes this is a challenge. But let's do the inflation smasher right now, folks. We are just bashing the hell out of high prices. Inflation. The government says inflation is cooling. But guess what? Have the prices come down? No. Inflation has put a lot of us in just a bad position. Now, I get ticked off. I mean, things that used to be, $2.99 are now $6.99. I mean, we've all seen it. So what are we doing about it? We're not just complaining. We're doing something about it here on the MJ Morning Show. All right, let's go with caller number 44. Caller 44 right now, 800-990-1047. Caller 44, 800-990-1047. If you're the 44th caller right now, you get to play the Inflation Smasher. We fire up the Inflation Smasher. It starts spinning and whirling and twirling, and you get to say when we push the Smasher button to reveal how much cash is behind the smashed out glass. So caller 44 right now, 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047 gets you on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. Hey, speaking of the Bucks, I want to run something by you. And I don't know if I can make this happen, but I thought this would be kind of fun.
All right.
So we're in the middle of preseason. Bucks had, I don't pay attention to preseason, but because none of the good players play. So we just had a preseason Buccaneers on Saturday. I don't even know who they played.
They played Jacksonville.
They played the Detroit Tigers. Who'd they play?
They did play the Tigers.
Yeah, okay.
And beat them in football because they're baseball
Right.
players.
So
they played the Cincinnati Bengals week 1, and then they played the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, so where are we in preseason? I think we won the first one, right?
I don't know.
Anyway, I don't pay attention. Anyway, listen to this. Do you think that this can be made to happen? I thought this would be great. Regular season, I show up at a couple of games, and I'm a vendor in the stands. What do you think?
Okay, what's the payoff?
I'm just mingling.
Hold on, yeah.
I'm just. Do you think that whoever hires the vendors, would they work with me and let me work a couple of games?
I mean, they might have to actually hire you because what would you sell? What would you want?
Like hot dogs?
Well, what are they? I don't go to the
Beer.
Buck. I sit at home and watch on TV.
Beer,
Pretzels?
So
nuts.
beer, whatever the items are. I mean, I think that would be a great way to kind of, meet, listeners of the show. Let some folks know that the MJ Morning Show is back on Q105.
How would that work? Beer here.
Hey, I'm MJ. The MJ Morning Show is back on 104.7 FM every single morning.
Beer here.
All right, Fessy, do me a favor.
Get your beer.
Can I assign this to
What
you?
am I going to call? When the Glazers?
I'm just saying that.
What do we call Coach Bowles?
Dude, listen. I'm just saying that I think it would be kind of fun if I, MJ, just showed up at a couple of Bucks games and I'm a vendor. I'm just running up and down the aisles selling crap.
You're certainly loud enough to be.
Oh yeah. Get your beer here.
Why don't you don't have to do it like an old talkie voice. You're not transported to the 40s. MJ here. Get your hot, fresh pretzel.
All right. Hey, listen. This is just a concept I'm working on. MJ vendor at a Bucks game or 2 or 3 this coming season for home games, obviously.
Go to the game.
Yeah.
And see how long it takes for you to get kicked out as a non-vendor.
I start selling.
Sell
MJ Morning Show T-shirts or something.
T-shirts,
yeah. I'm going to end up in the Buccaneers jail underneath the stadium for unruly fans.
That's fun. I don't need to see you getting a real job.
No. Seriously, it'd have to be officially sanctioned.
The Bucks don't hire those people.
I'd have to be hired. Yeah. But whoever you find out who the vendor is. Find out who the company is that supplies the vendors that run up and down the stand aisles.
Terrible idea.
It's not a terrible idea.
It's not a good idea.
Who wants to buy some, a hot dog from me, MJ? Who wants to buy a cold Bud Light from me, MJ?
Oh. Hey, you look familiar.
All right, listen, just make some calls.
All right.
Or if anyone has anything to do with the vending staff at the Raymond James Stadium for the Bucks games, send me an email. Tell me if it's possible for me to be MJ the vendor for a couple of games, running up and down the aisles. All right. So email me, MJ at MJMorningshow.com, MJ at MJMorningshow.com. All right. Line 5. Hi, good morning. Who is this?
My name's Dave.
Dave, where are you calling from?
Right now, I'm in Waimama.
Where are you? Waimama?
Waimama.
Fantastic. Dave, are you a trucker?
No, I'm not. I'm just driving to work.
All right. So where do you live? Where's home?
Riverview.
All right. So, and you said your name is Dave, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Dave from Riverview, now in Waimama. Dave, are you a regular MJ Morning Show listener?
Yes.
Dave, that is highly appreciated. I can't thank you enough. So, Dave, you're obviously familiar with the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher.
Kind of.
Yeah, well, we just started it yesterday, so it's going to go on for a couple of weeks. So here's the deal. Dave, you're caller 44. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You just beat the odds. You just busted through all the other thousands and thousands of people trying to call in. So, Dave, let me explain the inflation smasher. We're sick and tired of inflation. Dave, listen, you've witnessed the high prices in your house, right?
Yes, I have.
I mean, just prices have gone through the roof. They haven't come down. It's just a mess out there. It continues to be, troublesome. So, Dave, we have built the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher with the help of many brilliant geniuses at MIT up in Massachusetts. So here's the deal. Dave, we're going to activate the Inflation Smasher, and you're going to hear this thing spinning and whirling. It's going to sound like, the Hadron Super Collider over in Europe. And what you get to do when I tell you, you get to decide when to smash the glass. So I will say anytime, Dave, and when you want to smash the glass, you say, smash it! And then the glass gets smashed, and then we find out how much money is behind the glass box that you smashed. Are you ready?
Awesome. Yes, sir.
Dave, let's activate the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher. Oh, man, listen to that.
The MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher has been activated.
Hold on, not yet, Dave.
All right, yeah, Dave, don't.
Not yet.
You gotta wait. The machine is activated.
It's just getting started.
All right, so Dave, the machine is running. So Dave, tell me when you want to smash the glass. Just yell, smash it when you want to smash it.
Okay, smash it.
You've won $750.
Yeah, dude. Dave, you got $750.
That's awesome.
$750. Dave from Riverview driving in Waimama right now. $750. That'll buy some groceries, pal.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. Dave, what do you do for a living?
I'm a third-party inspector for new home construction.
Awesome. Oh, yeah, making sure like the second floor is not going to collapse into the living room.
Exactly.
That's good stuff right there. All right, Dave, hold on a second. You got $750 with the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for listening. Andrew's going to pick up the phone and get all your information and tell you how to collect your money, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Look at that. We gave away $1,000 yesterday morning. Gino gave away, I think, $700 yesterday afternoon. We just gave away $750. So Gino, our afternoon guy, he's going to play again after 3 o'clock with the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher here on the MJ Morning Show. Man, I like that game. I think it's fantastic.
You just like to smash things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, what did I see? Oh, speaking of, I didn't get to this item. Oh, did we? We might have mentioned this. Speaking of smashing stuff, did we talk about that weirdo dude that won the $2 billion Powerball thing? Did we mention this a couple of weeks ago?
You talking about Castro?
Yeah,
Out in California?
Edwin Castro.
Yeah.
Dating hot girls. That's what we talked about.
Oh, that's right. So there was another item.
Yeah, he went to the smash room.
Did we talk about that?
We did.
Oh, we did. Okay. All right. Yeah. So he was, and now it's coming back to me. He was spotted coming out of one of those rage rooms where you go in and you smash crap. And we've got a number of those rage rooms, here in the Tampa Bay area. But I asked the question, the dude won a $2 billion Powerball jackpot. What the hell is he raging at? Why does he have to go smash crap?
Okay. Have you ever been to one?
No.
Yeah, if management was smart, they would put one in this radio station for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, how about MJ? How about you just smash up these desks with
No. How about we smash all the old equipment in the studio that should have been replaced 10 years ago? That's what we ought to do.
It's a fun night out. It's not that you have to get therapy from smashing things. It's like axe throwing or something like that.
Oh no, listen, I am not in any way whatsoever disparaging. I think it's a great idea. I like the concept. I like smashing crap. It's fun. It's hey, you relieve some stress. But I was just curious why the $2 billion. What do you have to stress over if you won the $2 billion Powerball jackpot?
You're just doing it for fun.
That's my question.
You could buy smash houses. Just buy a whole house, smash it, and it's all right. There you go. It's yours. MJ, we do have breaking news.
What is the breaking news?
I
have this in the pile.
One of the biggest stars of our time is headed to the Tampa Bay area.
I know.
This is
no. Well, I saw this last night.
Yeah,
and I do have it in the pile.
Wait, is this breaking news or bizarre news? I don't know.
I don't know.
Hey,
It's breaking news, folks, on the MJ Morning Show.
Hawk to it.
She's coming to town.
That makes me hawk to it when I hear that.
Yeah. So the Hurtado girl is coming to the Tampa Bay area to spit on that thing.
Good for her.
Get in line if you want your thing spat on by the Hurtado girl.
This is going to be a long line.
Oh, man. She's going to a local bar, I saw.
Good for her.
Right?
Make that money while you can, kid.
I thought, and we talked about this last week, I thought that it was kind of lowbrow for the New York Mets to have her throw out the first pitch.
Okay.
Her showing up at a local bar in St. Petersburg, I don't have an issue with that. She's kind of a sideshow act right now, and she's famous for 15 minutes, and let her capitalize and make some money. I just didn't think that it was appropriate. I just thought it was lowbrow and bottom shelf for the New York Mets to invite the Hurtado girl.
One move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time.
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk to and spit on that thing. You get me?
You want to bring her to a bar?
Okay.
That's fine. I've got no issue with you, promoting your bar by saying, "Hey, come on down. We got beer specials, and the Hurtado girl's going to be here." I've got no problem with that. But the Mets having her throw out the first pitch, come on.
The fine tradition of the honorable New York Mets. The forgotten team of New York City.
It's not the forgotten team of New York. Stop it.
Really?
Yeah.
There's another team called, the Yankees, And then there's like people who live on Staten Island who like the Mets. Listen, MJ, I will say this. After we talked about Hurtado, Haley Welch last week, I saw on Barstool Sports that she was actually there. In addition to throwing out first pitch, she was doing charitable work. She was raising money for assistance dogs for veterans. So there's a charitable angle to her appearance with the Mets. She's not just there spitting on balls.
Which, again, there's a lot of spitting in baseball, so it's kind of thematic.
Not at the stadium, at least.
Well, there's a pitch called a spitball. Get ready, catcher.
And guys spit sunflower seeds in the dugout and spit on the ball.
There's no sport where spitting is more prevalent than baseball. It's super appropriate.
Dip spit.
So what, is she going to spit sunflower seeds? Is that it? Spit some chaw? Well, they can't spit chewing, right? They don't.
I think that
was banned. Chewing tobacco was banned by Major League Baseball, right? That's why that's why there are 2 billion pounds of David's sunflower seeds brought into the Major League Baseball stadiums for the players each year. All right, so I saw this last night. The Tampa Bay Times had a little story on this. Controversial viral star Hurtado girl is headed to St. Petersburg.
Good for her.
Yeah, what does it say? Yeah. She's going to WTF. Yeah, in St. Pete. Let me read the details here. Hang on. Tampa Bay. I still want to call it the St. Petersburg Times. Haley Hurtado Welch will make a special appearance on Friday, August 30th at Country Bar Welcome to the Farm, also known as WTF.
That sounds awesome.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. We got Haley Hurtado Welch hosting a Farm-Filled Friday on August 30th. Y'all ain't going to want to miss this. Text 727-337-69 or 6791 to book your spot in VIP. You know what? I think I'm a real country bar patron. I'm gonna text. I want my VIP spot. Now listen, I've got no problem with WTF bringing in the Hurtado girl. That is totally different than the New York Mets having her throw out the first pitch. I'm sorry.
The first pitch is not the sacred thing. It's the first pitch.
Listen, you have presidents and you have, you
threw out the first pitch.
A fine, upstanding member of the community. I threw out the first pitch at a Rays game back in, I think, 2010.
Did it reach the plate?
Or 11? Hold on. What did you say?
Did it reach the plate?
Yes. Let me tell you.
There are so many bad ones out there.
I drilled a nice one right to the catcher. All right, so let me tell you what happened. When I was invited to throw out the first pitch at Tropicana Field, they had me originally at 30 feet instead of regulation, which is 60 feet, 6 inches.
That's because they don't want anybody messing up the mound.
Am I right on that? Do I remember that correctly? 60 feet, 6 inches?
That sounds right.
66 feet, 6 inches.
No, it's not 66 feet. It's 60 feet.
Look it up.
Yeah, what is the regulation from the rubber to home plate? I think it's 60 feet, 6 inches. So when I showed up to throw out the first pitch, and Chloe was with me, and I've got these great pictures. Chloe's just a little girl.
60 feet, 6 inches.
Thank you.
66 feet,
60.
Andrew.
What are you on, crack in there?
Throwing it from second base? Jeez, Andrew.
It's 60 feet, 6 inches. So I get to Tropicana Field, and they're giving me the prep. Okay, MJ, you're going to stand right here. You throw the first pitch, just, right to the catcher. I'm like, well, what is this little, what? What am I, a Girl Scout? What am I,
what am I, the Hurtado girl?
What do you mean? I said, no, I played Little League Baseball for like 10 years. I'm going on the mound, man. I'm not throwing from 30 feet like I'm some kind of geriatric out of like I'm out of the Cocoon movie. I'm going on the mound. And they said, okay, are you sure? I'm like, yes, I'm sure. So it didn't take much convincing, but I moved from their prescribed 30 feet halfway. I'm like, what? That's a wussy pansy toss. I'm not doing that. And I said, I'm throwing from the rubber. I'm throwing from 60 feet like I'm a major league pitcher, man. So they didn't push back. I was able to get on the mound, and I drilled a nice one right down, I think it was a strike. Yeah.
Might have been a ball.
Yes, Andrew.
Yeah, nobody remembers those. Only ones people remember are those really bad ones.
Yeah, who was the rapper that hit the cameraman off on the side? Remember that? I mean, there have been some awful first pitches. But all right, moving along. Boy, we missed something. We were called out. I got an email from Philip. Philip says we're slipping. Philip the listener.
I'm watching the video of 50 Cent launching it into the cameraman.
That was it. It was 50 Cent. Hold on. Go ahead and.
I don't know what the audio is here.
Roll the audio up here.
It's from the Mets Instagram or YouTube.
Here it.
Curtis Jackson. And his first pitch was not great. Just a bit outside.
Just a bit. It was 20 feet to the left. No, that wasn't the bad one.
Okay.
There was another bad one where somebody got beamed in the crotch or something.
I will say,
anyway,
that's really the only way to throw a first pitch. You got to make a show of it. Who cares if you get a strike?
So we're slipping.
All right, what do we do?
The MJ Morning Show is slipping. This was pointed out by Philip Dispenza. Philip is a longtime regular listener of the MJ Morning Show.
Yeah.
I see him on social media. He hits up my Instagram. Anyway, I got an email from Philip. Folks, you can email me anytime you want. My private email is mj@mjmorningshow.com. That's as easy as it gets. You want to send me something? You got some gossip, hot tip? You got some content for us? Got a question? Need some help on something? I'll try if I can. My private email is mj@mjmorningshow.com. So Philip writes and says, MJ, you guys are slipping.
Yeah, he emailed me too.
It may be maybe too late for now to ask Magic Mark to make a parody song using Caribbean Queen by Billy Ocean.
Oh, no, that's so smart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you know where he's going, Fester?
What a good idea.
Yes.
What do you think it is?
Ketamine Queen.
Yes.
What's the second line?
That's what I have Magic Mark, our parody guy, come up with. So with the whole indictment.
She's simply awesome.
Oh, yeah, she's simply awesome. The North Hollywood Ketamine Queen. Yeah. All right. So Philip said we should have done Ketamine Queen to Billy Ocean's Caribbean Queen because of the arrests last week by the feds in the indictment of those two doctors, the houseboy from Matthew Perry from Friends, the Ketamine Queen of North Hollywood, and then wasn't there some kind of like a mule, some kind of a runner that
some go-between?
Yeah, it was like 5 people altogether have been charged by the feds. And, man, this is some serious crap. The doctors face like 120 years in federal prison. The Ketamine Queen of North Hollywood, she faces life in prison. And what Philip is saying here, and if you don't know the story, the ketamine was supplied to these doctors that were ripping Matthew Perry off sideways. They sold him $220 worth of ketamine, 20 vials at $12 a vial, and Matthew Perry paid $55,000 for the ketamine. He was so hooked on this crap, he was paying the doctors $55,000 for $220 worth of ketamine.
Wow.
And it all came from who they called the North Hollywood Ketamine Queen, and that's what Philip is suggesting, that we should have done Ketamine Queen. Oh, hang on a minute. I got it. All right, 3, 2, and Ketamine Queen, sharing the same needle. All right.
All right.
Maybe not.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, it might be too late to have Magic Mark jump on Ketamine Queen.
Even if we just had Ketamine Queen sung Billy Ocean style.
Yeah. Ketamine Queen. Yeah. Anyway, Philip, good idea, but you know what? The window might have passed.
Did I ever tell you my connection to that song?
No, what's your connection?
Queen?
The connection to Caribbean Queen by Billy Ocean?
Yes.
What was that, 1985?
Yep, that's about right.
85?
Yes. 1980.
84 into 85, maybe.
1986. Yeah. I'm in 6th grade.
Yep.
And Robert Curry and Steve Cook beat me up at the bus stop. right?
Dude, you were a big kid. You were.
Oh, these are like, I'm like a 6th grader. These are like 8th graders.
Oh, so what were their names again?
Steve Cook and Robert Curry.
Are they still in town?
Yeah.
Steve Cook and Robert Curry?
I think so.
And they beat you up at the bus stop?
They beat me up at the bus stop in 6th grade.
And where was this?
It was in Pinellas County where we lived. And
can you be a little more specific?
Near Bardmore.
Okay.
Yeah, and
and what elementary school were you on the way to?
We're going to Madeira Beach Middle School.
Oh, middle school.
Middle school, right? So I'm in 6th grade.
You went to Madeira Beach Middle School?
Yes. Back then it was the home of the Buccaneers.
You know what? They ought to have a pep rally and invite you as one of the most successful graduates of Madeira Middle School.
It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad if I'm one of the most successful people. So anyway, they beat me up at the bus stop. Right. So I come home with like a welt on my arm.
Right.
You know, I think Steve Cook held my arm and Robert Curry punched the arm. Right? I really got a big bruise on it.
Are these guys still around?
I don't. Steve Cook is. We've patched it up.
Oh, you have. Okay, good.
So anyway,
what does Steve Cook do these days?
I don't know.
What was his life path after he beat you up at the bus stop?
He's a fine guy. Anyway,
he's probably a priest, right?
Probably. Maybe not.
Right, go ahead.
So anyway, I go home and my dad says, you know what your problem is? I was like, what's my problem, Dad? He goes, your problem is you have a big mouth. And I was like, okay. He's like, and your mouth writes checks that your ass can't cash. I was like, what does that mean? He goes, your mouth gets you in trouble. You can't fight your way out of it. I was like, okay. He's like, we're going to send you to karate class. So I start karate class like the next week so I can defend myself in fights because my big mouth is going to get me into nothing but trouble for the rest of my life. I better learn how to fight. And the instructor wanted us to throw punches at a certain pace. And the only thing that he could think of that was the perfect pace of throwing punches was the beat to Caribbean Queen.
Really?
So every karate practice, we would, on the beat, you throw punches, you throw kicks to the beat of Caribbean Queen. Throw. It's the perfect beat. Yes. The whole song. And then he would rewind the tape and we would kick to the Caribbean. I heard this. Okay. When I was like 12 years old, I heard this song 10,000 times. It was the same song every class.
That's funny. A couple of other Matthew Perry things. Story out yesterday that Matthew Perry's assistant found him unconscious at least 2 times in the weeks leading up to his death. Man, this has to be the worst house guy ever. I mean, even worse than Cato Kalin. I mean, this guy really?
Cato seems like a dream.
This is the dude, the house dude, the assistant, the live-in assistant. He's the one that shot Matthew Perry up with the ketamine. And Matthew Perry used to say, hey, give me a big one. Meaning, give me a big dose. So this guy, didn't I read that the house assistant shot Matthew Perry up? I don't know whether he was sitting in the hot tub, but of course he passed out, drowned in the hot tub, behind the house up in the Hollywood Hills, right? And I think the guy shot him up and then left to do errands or something. And
he sent him out on an errand.
Yeah. So he shoots him up with a big one of ketamine and then goes out and runs some errands and then comes back and Matthew Perry's like floating dead in the pool.
It's awful.
My God. And then he was unconscious at least 2 times in the weeks leading up to the death. That's unbelievable. And the other thing, before I move on, apparently a whole bunch of Hollywood A-listers are like shaking and quaking in their boots. They're very nervous right now because they're afraid that with the investigation and the feds and the whole takedown of the Ketamine Queen of North Hollywood, they're afraid that some of their drug habits are going to be exposed. Well, Hollywood stars are apparently terrified that this latest bust is going to lead to their drug use and maybe their purchases from the Ketamine Queen and others might be unveiled in this investigation and subsequent trial of, you got 5 defendants here.
I'm sure she has a lot of high-profile clients.
That's the fear.
Absolutely.
That's the issue. That's the problem. is you got all these Hollywood high-profile clients that apparently are like very nervous right now that they're going to be exposed.
So does she have like major beef with like the Ketamine Queen of West Hollywood? I mean, it's a very specific geographic area.
You know what? You just don't step on the feet of the Ketamine Queen of Rancho Cucamonga.
No, you sure don't want to do that stuff. Boy.
Of Encino.
Listen,
the Ketamine Queen of Encino.
The Ketamine Queen of Yorba Linda will cut you.
Oh, God. Man, I saw a terrible, terrible story. A grown man ripped off a lemonade stand run by a little girl in Chesapeake, Virginia.
That's awful.
When you say grown man, is he like older, like 50, 60, or?
You know, it's like a Ring camera. It's like a driveway or a doorbell camera that caught this guy. I'm saying 30s or 40. Take a look at the picture. I'm saying 30s, 40s.
Maybe late 20s, 30s. What are you doing taking stuff from kids like that?
This guy rips off this little girl. She's running a lemonade stand. And this is in Chesapeake, Virginia. You know, my first job was at a radio station in Chesapeake, Virginia. My first job in radio in 1982 was at WCPK, 1600 AM, Chesapeake, Virginia.
So it looks like it's a brother and sister out there selling the lemonade?
Two Virginia siblings whose money was stolen out of their jar while they were selling lemonade caught on video. Surveillance video shows a car slowly approaching two children in Chesapeake, Virginia, after which the man gets out. Rebecca Caldwell, a 10-year-old, told Wavy TV 10, by the way, that's where that music comes from. This music, seriously, this is the Wavy TV 10 news music from 1981. So they covered this breaking news. Can you imagine? A guy gets out of a car and then rips off the girl's lemonade money jar? So the guy gets out of the car. As she's starting to pour the man a lemonade, he grabbed the jar and ripped off the money and ran.
That's awful.
Rebecca, the 10-year-old, said he acted really nice. He was just saying, like, nice, y'all are doing a lemonade stand. And then he was getting pretty close, but my back was turned, didn't realize Rebecca and her younger brother, Josh, can be seen on the video running inside to tell their mother they had just been robbed. My God, who would do this?
Here's the kids.
Is this from Wavy TV 10?
Yes.
Listen to this. Roll it. Unmute it. Unmute it.
Surprises after the community caught a glimpse of the surveillance video from the family's home on Bells Mill Road.
This is awful.
The video is leaving a sour taste in people's mouths. This guy, smiling as he approaches a kid's lemonade stand, snatches the money jar and takes off.
I was mostly surprised that would ever even happen.
I mean, the video's crazy.
That anybody would even do that to us.
Rebecca Caldwell and her brother Josh set up the stand Wednesday with dreams of earning enough cash for him to buy a dirt bike and her a four-wheeler.
That's a lot of lemonade you got to sell for that.
Right there for
these kids have some pipe dreams.
Down the street, and it's like a little track that they can ride on. So I'm probably gonna ride with them.
So sweet.
You know what? These kids needed a shotgun there.
You know what?
They need a shotgun at the lemonade stand in Chesapeake, Virginia.
Tell you what, if a morning show had any sense in Chesapeake, Virginia, they'd buy these kids a dirt bike and a four-wheeler.
Or drop off a Mossberg shotgun for them.
One of the two.
Yeah. That's terrible. All right. Speaking of terrible, did you see the person that ran their car into somebody's house up in Spring Hill and then showed up after they got out of the hospital, showed up and apologized for ramming their car through their house? This is an insane story. I saw this on Channel 8. Driver returns to crash site, asks for forgiveness after their car drove through the home in Spring Hill. What do you have the Fox 13 story? I've got the Channel 8 story.
I have the still picture right here.
Yeah.
This car is in there. It's a Lexus, and he smashed right through the front living room.
Oh, my. An emotional moment caught on camera. A driver asking for forgiveness after suffering a seizure and crashing into a home in Spring Hill. The driver, who said that he caused potentially structural damage to the home, interrupted an interview that the family was doing with Channel 8. So here's the deal. The reason why I'm doing the Channel 8 story here is because Channel 8 had a camera crew and reporter at the house in Spring Hill interviewing the family about the car running through their house, and the dude that allegedly had the seizure and rammed his Lexus through their house shows up and interrupts the interview.
Oh, my God.
To apologize for ramming their car through the house. You want to hear this? Listen to the audio here.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to run into your house.
What happened?
I had a seizure. I just got out of the hospital. I'm so sorry that I hurt anybody.
You should not have been driving.
I don't have seizures no more.
I
It
know.
just came out of nowhere.
I know, but you shouldn't have been driving.
So apparently the last seizure that this guy had, the identified driver is Rudy. That's all we know.
All right.
Rudy, the seizure driver.
He's also a great football player.
Yeah. So
formerly, yes.
the driver who identified himself as Rudy was in tears. He used his son's electric scooter to come back to the crash site.
I have to say,
He's going to run into a tool shed next.
MJ,
Yeah.
this seems like the most genuine thing.
Oh, it does.
coming
Oh,
from
yeah,
Rudy.
listen, yes. Listen.
I mean, I'm not trying to poke any fun at this.
Right.
The guy had a seizure. That's very serious.
Oh, yeah, listen.
He probably
absolutely.
shouldn't have been driving.
No, that's what it sounds like. I mean, was he, I think this is a fair question, was he medically cleared to drive? Because, people that have seizures, some are not permitted to get a driver license here in Florida because if you have a seizure on the road, that, can be obviously very, very bad.
But to go back to the house and just humbly be
Oh,
apologetic.
he's like groveling. He's crying. You can barely understand them. The driver identified himself as Rudy in tears. He still had a hospital bracelet. He still had the name bracelet.
Look, here he is on camera. You can see the bracelet on his wrist.
On his wrist. And then he shows up. Rudy asked the homeowners for forgiveness. He said doctors told him he suffered a minor seizure, which caused him to crash into their house. He says, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to run into your house. I had a seizure." Rudy told the homeowners that he hadn't had a seizure in years, and it just came out of nowhere. He says, the homeowner says, "I feel bad for him, but again, having seizures, you shouldn't be on the road," said the mother, Kristen Appel.
She brings up a good point.
Regardless, getting cleared 3 years ago, he could have killed somebody on the road, somebody walking. It could have been anything. I mean, the homeowner, the mother is not wrong. Wow.
I mean, I feel bad for everybody involved.
So Kristen Appel said she heard a big explosion, came out running, and she sees this car in the living room.
I mean, where the family spends most of the time during the day is the living room.
Can you imagine if the family was watching a certain TV show? Can you imagine if the family is watching The Price is Right? And suddenly,
at that very second,
your chance to win
a new car!
And then, can you imagine?
A new car!
This 2014 Lexus is equipped with front airbags.
All the safety features. What about lane departure? Did it have that feature?
Seizure control.
Am I going to hell for this?
No.
All right.
Listen, nobody was injured. I feel terrible for the family. I feel terrible for Rudy. I mean, rarely do you see somebody this publicly so apologetic.
Yeah, I mean, Rudy really obviously feels bad. I mean, just wrecked the family's home. I mean, clearly there's structural damage. I mean, smashes right into the living room.
I'm looking at the Channel 8 video, and the cameraman is behind Rudy. It looks like Rudy might be on his knees begging.
No, Rudy's I think, sitting on his brother's motorized scooter.
So does he not walk?
Should he be on anything motorized at this point?
When you said scooter,
I don't know if he should be on a Barbie car at this point. You can imagine next he drives a Barbie car into another person's house.
How does the reporter for Channel 8 not talk to Rudy directly?
I know.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not a serious journalist or anything, but apparently neither is this guy.
Once again, let me play Rudy here. Listen, Rudy, I'm sorry for Rudy. I'm sorry for making a little light of the story here. Rudy, your apology sounds genuine. It really does.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to run into your house.
What happened?
I had a seizure. I just got out of the hospital. I'm so sorry that I hurt anybody.
You should not have been driving.
I don't have seizures no more.
I
It
know.
just came out of nowhere.
I know, but you shouldn't have been driving.
I mean, Rudy sounds genuinely upset and affected. I mean, I feel bad for the whole Price is Right shtick now.
Not that bad. A new car was pretty funny.
Rudy in the Lexus! Come on down! We'll have more pricing games coming up next. Rudy!
How much damage did you cause? It was $10,000 in damage.
Yeah, we're gonna play the mountain climber game. How much damage to the house did Rudy cause? All right, let's play. Is it $10,000? You got to guess without going over.
Oh gosh, it's
$15,000.
Cinder block house here. I don't know, maybe $20,000.
It looks about $25,000. And stop. $25,000. Oh yes. Yeah, it looks about $25,000.
No idea how much.
Hey, I remember a long time ago, what was the story that we had? Was it your kids or was it BJ's kids? I'm trying to remember how long ago this was. Remember the vendors on the side of the road? Out of like a van, they're selling turtles.
That was BJ's kids.
Was that? Remember? Was that?
Yeah. I don't see them around as much as.
Yeah.
As much as I used. I feel like I would see them like on like Gandy Boulevard, like where the bridge is.
Right.
With like a truck and like a cooler and like a sign that said turtles.
Or you'd see like fresh grouper or lobster tails.
Yeah, but they were selling food to eat. Yeah. These people were selling pets.
Well, you could eat these turtles.
I guess.
You ever have turtle soup?
Yeah, but you'd have to have a lot of them. These turtles are like the size of, I don't know, little things, right? Like 2 or 3 inches across.
We have a warning, folks.
I like turtles.
Yep. Tiny turtles cause salmonella outbreak amongst children. Yeah, public health officials for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention are investigating a multi-state salmonella outbreak reportedly linked to tiny turtles with shells 4 inches long or less.
Yeah, he's a little baby turtle.
Yeah.
I mean, they're small turtles.
At least 51 people across 21 states have contracted salmonella. And 20. What happens if you take a salmonella turtle and you have him crawl across a piece of boar's head liverwurst?
I mean, salmonella and listeria in one shot.
It's a combo platter. It's what you have. Anyway, the investigation's under the whole thing's under investigation. Mostly young children. 17 of those under the age of 5. So. Careful. I get federal law bans the sale of tiny turtles. I didn't know this.
Since when?
So I had a turtle when I was a kid. We had that little clear plastic bin, and you used to fill it with water, and then in the middle of the bin it had a little island, and then it had a little plastic palm tree. You know what I'm talking about?
And did you pull the turtle out and play with him?
My brother bit its leg off.
Get out of
That's
here.
true. My brother bit off the turtle's leg.
It's disgusting and hysterical.
My brother's a surgeon today. He was doing surgery back when he was 2.
He knew he wanted to do
He
surgery.
was 2 or 3, and he bit the turtle's leg off. True story. We had one of these little mini turtles. Now it's a federal crime. Oh my God!
I thought they sold turtles at like pet stores.
According to federal law, the sale and distribution of small turtles with shells less than 4 inches is illegal because the reptiles can cause illness, especially in little kids. However, several retail shops online, in-store, and on the side of the road still sell these animals as pets despite the ban. Health officials recommend Americans only buy turtles that have shells longer than 4. What is it? It's like a little magic switch. Under 4 inches, salmonella. 4.1 inches, no salmonella.
How are these turtles?
3.9 salmonella. 4.1 no salmonella.
How are these turtles so
the-
filthy?
I don't know.
As compared to something just a skosh larger.
I don't know. I don't get it. Hey, Linda Hurtado's in the house.
I love Linda. What's up?
From Fox 13. Now she's got a new book out. Ooh. Yeah, she's an author. So we'll have Linda Hurtado in just a matter of minutes. Hey, folks, there is a lot of stuff we get to here in the 9 o'clock hour. So when we get back, we'll start the 9 o'clock hour here on the MJ Morning Show. Let me tell you, coming up, a major brand. This is a major women's clothing brand. You've heard of them. You've seen the stores in the malls. They are pulling a sexually suggestive shirt for kids. What the hell did this shirt say? I want to run this by. I'm going to run it by Linda Hurtado. I want to run it by Roxanne. I want to run it by, mommies to see if you really think that this shirt and what's the retailer? What major retailer that many of you have heard of, maybe even bought stuff from? Who's the retailer and what sexually suggestive shirt did they have for sale that they've just yanked? So we'll get to that. Hey, I also have the latest Generation X extinction list for names. So names common with Gen X, of which we're all Gen X in the room. What names are now like extinct that nobody is naming people these names that were, common in the, mid, late 60s, 70s, even early 80s? All right, what names? Hank will explain in just a matter of moments. And do you have any idea how much your dog costs you? I saw something that was just, wow. The cost of a dog. Yeah, wait till you hear this. These numbers are incredible. Also, I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Guess what kind of pictures the Golden Bachelorette is getting online?
Oh, man. Oh, I think I know.
Yeah, hang on a minute. We have a lot coming up next here on the MJ Morning Show. Don't move. We're back in minutes. 9:03 at the MJ Morning Show. MJ and a crew, 9:03 Tuesday morning. And luckily, we are on the air this morning. It was a really rough day yesterday. Linda Hurtado from Fox 13 joins us. So, Linda, we had a piece of equipment that broke because this place is a dump. And we were off the air from 6 a.m. to 7:20.
That gave me anxiety when Roxanne told me that. I could feel your pain.
Yeah. You were supposed to be here yesterday.
Yes.
But I was fit to be tied. It was not a good day.
Okay, I get it.
So I just I said to Roxanne, can you just push Linda Hurtado off to tomorrow or someday that's convenient this week? This is just not a good day because I'm really just all.
What'd I say? I totally get it.
Yeah, Linda was like, oh, okay, I understand. Yeah,
Live
tomorrow
radio,
will be better.
I get it.
Yeah. Hey, so Linda's here because she's got a new book out. A couple of things. We're going to make you an honorary final hour member of the show here.
Cool.
All right.
I love it.
Tell me between you and Roxanne, a kind of a big name in women's fashion. You see the stores in malls or the nice kind of like town center settings. So rattle off some of the women's clothing brand stores. And I want to see if you guys can guess. Listen, I'm a guy and I know this. I know that I've seen this name many places over the years.
Ross Dress for Less.
No.
Marshalls.
No. So it's not a discount. This is a well-known, fashion brand. Name some of the names. Go.
Gucci?
I was going to say Gucci,
Nope.
Louis Vuitton.
Nope.
Is it high end or is it like?
You know what? It's not as high as Gucci or Louis Vuitton.
Is it Lane Bryant?
No, it's
Antonio
what's wrong with
Milani?
it?
No,
What's
I
the
work.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Victoria's Secret.
No.
Macy's, Dillard's?
Yeah.
No,
like
those are department stores.
Okay, it's got to be a designer.
It's like a designer. I think they have their own.
Is it H&M?
No, that's
Ellie Tahari?
no. You know what? Fester's guess is probably the closest.
H&M.
Yeah.
H&M.
Fester,
But
you're
that's New York.
out-fashioning us.
But hold on.
Well, I'm sorry.
I mean, today
The only
he
reason
certainly
why
is.
I know H&M is because in International Plaza, it's right
Right?
near the play area where the kids play.
Fester's
It's right there.
Fester shops in the tent section at Dick's. All right. All right. All right. I'll give you a clue.
Okay. I can't believe I need a clue.
4 letters. 4 letters in the name, and it's like it might be a click higher than H&M,
Okay.
but not as high as Gucci and Chanel and all that fancy stuff. Come on.
Who wears it? Do you know, like, who?
Yeah.
I think that probably mostly teens, young adults, and I would say millennial women.
Okay, MJ, you know I'm not a teen anymore.
I know that.
Yeah,
but
we appreciate that.
Thank you for
All right,
including me in this conversation.
Gen Xers right here.
It starts with a Z.
Okay,
Zara?
Megan, what is it?
Megan.
Zara?
Yes,
Zara!
yes, Zara.
Megan, by the way, Wing Woman Brands, my
Yes.
assistant
Okay.
just helped me out with an
All right,
answer.
it's,
Good job,
it's-
Megan.
it's Zara.
Zara.
All right. They have Zara like at International, don't they?
Zara, I feel like has a little bit of a European flair to it when you try some of their clothes on, and I find that they're fit toward tiny people, right? Slim.
Maybe
people.
that's why I'm not as familiar.
I don't shop at Zara often.
Linda,
no.
you're in
Yeah,
great
you're-
shape.
you're
You know,
in phenomenal
Linda,
shape, by the way.
when I see you on Fox 13, they say that TV adds 10 pounds. It doesn't. You look great.
Well, thank you.
I think TV
appreciate
takes
that.
away 10. What do you do to the cameras? It takes away 10 pounds. Oh, you look great.
Lighting. It's the
No,
lighting.
it's the
lighting is
All of
everything.
us at Fox say, please with the lighting.
Yeah,
Yes.
lighting is everything. You
Lighting's
see my
everything.
ring light over
Oh,
here?
I love your little light. Roxanne has a light, of course.
I want to get the female, Roxanne mother perspective here on this. Zara has pulled a sexually suggestive T-shirt off the shelves in their stores because of complaints. Now, what did this thing say? And I guess it's like some innuendo. So Zara has issued an apology. They've removed this item from the racks. A mother, Laura Wilson, who's 32 years old, says, personally, I'm disgusted. It was a $14 kitty T-shirt, and on the front left breast on the T-shirt, it said the perfect snack, okay? On the front left breast. And then on the back, it has, I guess there's a hanging strawberry, I guess, the perfect snack. Then the strawberry, and then it says this, the strawberry, a small burst of sweet joy, is on the right side of the shirt. And then on the back, it says, take a bite.
And so this is a children's shirt.
It's for kids.
Yeah,
yes.
that's good judgment to pull it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd let my daughter wear it either.
The perfect snack. Then, how old's your daughter?
Well, my kids are in their 20s now,
All right.
so they
It's
wear what
like-
they
it's
want.
like
But
us,
if
yeah.
they were Roxanne,
Yeah.
my kids were Roxanne kids' age,
I will not let my 23-year-old daughter Chloe wear this shirt.
You guys will never be invited to the Strawberry Festival.
First of all,
Again, keeping that up.
I didn't know that Zara, I didn't know they sold, tween stuff? I didn't know they sold kitty stuff.
Yeah.
So-
Does that surprise you?
I'm not the main shopper in our household. However, I'm on their website. They have a full line of men's fashion, women's fashion, and a whole kids selection
All
as
right.
well.
I don't know anything about fashion.
They have a whole back. They do not have khaki shorts and one-color T-shirts.
I'm wearing gray shorts today.
Oh, apologies.
I'm wearing gray shorts.
Apologies.
And
Sorry.
actually, I stepped it up. Look at my shirt today. I'm wearing an actual button-down, kind of like a linen-y plaid shirt today.
Several people have commented on that on MJTV.
Oh, they did?
They said, "What is he out of T-shirts?" And I said, "Probably."
Did you dress up for me, MJ?
No. You know what? I don't know why. It's a very light, like linen-y kind of shirt I'm wearing today. All right, so I thought it was inappropriate. You're sending a kitty shirt with it's like innuendo. It's like there is some suggestiveness here.
Speaking of your daughter, Chloe, we should say happy birthday to her, right?
We did earlier, but you can say happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Chloe.
So Chloe is 23 years old today.
Making her own decisions now.
How long you been at Fox 13 now?
8 years. Can you believe it?
So it's 8 years.
I was at ABC for 20.
Yeah, so you were at 28 for 20 years.
20 years, yes.
Yeah.
I'm that old, yes.
Well.
But you know what? I'm loving it. I'm still loving the area and love working here. And I mean, hey, we're still hanging out together.
Yeah, having fun.
Right?
Not really working, right?
When did you guys start here?
MJ started in 90.
Well, in this market, the MJ and BJ show, which that was the original show.
You guys were here when I started.
Yeah, we started February of 94.
And I started in 95, so
there you go.
Yeah.
We're the goats.
Yeah. Did you get hired at 28 when they changed from Fox to ABC, right?
Working hard to be your favorite. Do you remember that slogan when we first started off at ABC?
Yeah.
Yes.
But back in, a lot of people don't realize this, but there was this whole major television switch. Channel 13, Fox 13 used to be CBS.
Yep.
So Channel 13 used to be the CBS channel in town. They became Fox because Fox bought the TV station and then turned it to Fox. They yanked Fox away from 28. ABC then went to 28. ABC used to be at Channel 10.
That's right.
Channel 10 then took CBS from Fox. The only thing that remained constant in the market was Channel 8.
And
NBC.
And the WB.
And the CW. Yeah.
But no, it was a big shakeup in the mid-90s, and that was the formation of ABC Action News 28.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun to be part of a startup. Like we literally were a newsroom.
You guys were like in a tool shed in the beginning.
We were in a shack over in Clearwater.
Yeah.
It was a warehouse.
In a tool. Seriously, you were like in a warehouse with like oil drums.
Right. It was crazy, but it was fun because when you start something with a group of people together, it's an adventure.
Yeah. Anyway, the TV business has changed. The radio business has changed.
Yes.
I mean, look at the Tampa Bay Times. I mean, they're hanging on by a thread over there. I mean,
I will say Fox 13 is the stable guy in the market.
Yeah, I agree.
It's such a nice TV station to work for.
You know why? Because they keep the same people for a long time.
Right.
Although, they believe in longevity.
I'm going to say something controversial here.
Oh boy!
Oh, there we go.
And you can
opt out.
You can opt out. Yes, you can opt out. The quality of the reporters that are being hired on every channel in town, they would not have gotten those jobs in this market like 5, 10, 15 years ago. It's just...
I will say this, it's harder to hire people these days, but they're younger. I agree with that. They are younger.
But we're getting...
Ours are solid. Our young reporters are solid. I got to defend ours.
We're getting reporters on the air that really need to spend like 5 years in Wichita Falls and then move up to Oklahoma City and then, you know what I'm saying?
I started Wilmington, North Carolina.
There you go.
Fort Myers.
Yep.
I think my job in Wilmington, I was making like $600 a month or something ridiculous. My mother would have to come and fly into town and buy groceries.
Buy food for you.
Yes.
Okay, Linda. All right, I know. I'm going to fill up the freezer and fill up the fridge for what station in Fort Myers?
Oh, it was WeView. It was the ABC station, but I think they're now one of those dualities, like with Wink maybe.
Yeah, gotcha.
So WeView, I don't believe even exists anymore. That's a long ago.
So Linda, this is what book number? This is
5.
This is book number 5.
5. All the Missing Girls. Yes.
Wow.
Came out yesterday, and the last book in the series comes out in February. It's called The Phantom Pirate of Gasparilla, and it takes place during Gasparilla.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it comes out in February during Gasparilla. So I'm excited about that.
All right, so this is your 5th book.
Yes.
It came out yesterday, and give us a synopsis.
So this book actually takes the same characters from the first book, All the Broken Girls, and they go to Cuba. The main girl is a reporter, and she brings her TV news photographer, and they have to sneak into Cuba illegally to find her sister.
Did they take a raft the other way?
They took a boat.
All right.
I mean, if you're going to go into Cuba illegally, it's probably going to be by boat in
Yeah.
a private marina
Yeah.
at night, which is how they sneak in.
Yep.
And, pretty dangerous to do that. I can say that because I've been to Cuba a couple times, even did have someone following me as a journalist
Oh,
one
yeah.
time while I was there.
Yeah.
So it takes my love of Cuba and the culture and kind of introduces people to that. But it's a thriller, so there's scary parts in it. In fact, I didn't even realize I was writing a thriller with horror elements until my editor told me that. So I was listening to Stephen King while I wrote this book.
Oh,
that's,
wow.
That's how kind of creepy it is.
Yeah, sure. So you just subconsciously bring in the elements that are around you.
That's right. I was like, might as well listen to the greatest, right? While I'm writing this.
Stephen King spends a lot of time down in Sarasota.
I know he does.
So maybe I ought to just drop one off at his house.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love to have a chat with Stephen King.
Where can people get the book?
They can get the book on Amazon. I'm also having an event tonight at the Oxford Exchange.
Oh, yeah.
At 7 o'clock. It's a book event, so I'll sign it and answer questions live. But any of my books are available on Amazon. Just look at Bond, Linda Bond.
So you're
you'll find
Linda Hurtado Bond.
Yes.
That's Bond. Linda Bond.
Well, it fits a thriller writer, right?
It does.
It does. It's
It
perfect.
does.
My
That's
first three books were like James Bond movies, I'd say. They were kind of action adventure, kind of romantic suspense, a little sexier than these books. So that's kind of why I tried, using the pen name Bond. Also, it's my uncle's James Bond.
Really?
Yeah, really,
That's
but
great.
he's the law professor, not the sexy
Gotcha.
movie actor.
Hey, I think we're all Gen X in this room except for your
Megan.
Your Megan's
Megan.
Megan's millennial, right?
Yeah, she is.
All right. So you're millennial, but all of us are Gen X. I was born in '66. Fester, you were born in what?
Roxanne, he's not going to ask me what year
No,
I was born in. Is he?
no.
Yeah, he's going to stop right
This
here.
is just this is just a male thing right here.
Okay.
I was born
Yeah.
in May of '74.
Yeah. Anyway,
74.
all right. So we're all. The point is, we're all Gen X in this
Yes.
room. No, I will not ask you guys when you were born. All right. But I have a list.
He has manners.
I have the latest list of popular Gen X names that are done, extinct.
Okay.
Would you like to take a guess at some of the names?
Linda is probably done, right?
Yeah,
You know what? Linda is not on the list, believe it or not.
Wow.
Hey,
Linda lives.
Hey, listen.
Yeah,
My-
I don't know too many babies at TGH.
Cut with Linda.
We're gonna go with Linda on this one.
Or what about Todd? I mean, my real first name
Right?
is. There is no babies being born. Hey, hun, let's name it Todd.
Looks like a Todd.
Oh,
Looks like
Honey, looks like a Todd to me.
But Todd is not on the list. It's not here. All right, here is the list. These are once popular names, and these were pretty big actually with Gen X, which is not that long ago. Generation X. Here's the list. Donna.
Oh.
That's my wife's mom's name is Donna.
Okay.
There are no Donnas.
No, baby Donnas.
Let's go down to the
Right?
let's go down to the maternity ward at St. Joe's, and let's see how many
Not exotic enough.
Donnas there are.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Not cool enough anymore.
Kerry, Kerry, which I think still has a little bit of a
Yeah.
Yeah, because Kerri is a girl's kid.
yeah.
Yes.
Carrie, yeah, but either way.
I still think it has a little bit of a hipness to it.
I know some young Carries.
Nigel. First of all,
What?
I-
Never popular.
Megan's laughing at that.
that's like a British name. I mean, are there any American boys that were named Nigel?
Honey, let's go with Nigel or
It's
Todd.
Nigel.
Take your pick. Which one would you like?
I'll tell you
Nigel,
what.
dear.
I was eating some spotted dick.
Yes.
And I thought we.
Nigel, stop eating all the spotted dick, will you please?
So next is Tracy.
Tracy.
Yeah,
That's a good one. A good one to have on the list.
I knew a bunch of Tracy's growing up.
Same with me.
Yeah, but it's going away.
There was a great girl in my neighborhood, Tracy Shepard.
Was she cute?
Yeah, oh yeah, Tracy was very cute. Yeah, she was.
Tracy's usually are cute. I think.
Tracy was cute. Tracy Shepard.
No?
Tracy's either or.
You know,
There's no gray area with
think so?
Tracy's.
Really?
My kids like to name. My girls like to name their pet play dogs
Right.
Tracy.
Okay.
Mama Tracy. And she-
What? Where did your kids come up with the name Tracy?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, maybe they read this
All right,
list.
next is Lindsay. I still think Lindsay is a good name, but they say
Yeah.
Lindsay is it's an extinct Generation X name. Lindsay.
Okay.
Gary. Yeah, they're not
Gary.
Yeah, not many boys.
Retire Gary.
Yeah, Gary's out. Cheryl.
Yeah.
Not many Cheryls.
No.
This is my new baby, Cheryl.
You know what's funny is
What?
you've named like 3 people in my family so far.
wow.
My aunts and my,
All of us, everybody over a certain age instantly knows somebody with
I
that
know
name.
Cheryl. Yes.
Yeah.
Claire.
Now,
again.
Claire feels younger to me.
Oh, dear. No, Claire
Can go
seems
both
like...
ways.
Yeah, Claire is like a click away from Estelle.
But I could
Oh,
see
yeah,
like,
it's
like a
old.
baby
Claire, that's an
Claire,
old
like a
name.
younger
You know
Claire.
what? No, the Claire is like... What's that mothball smell? Oh, that's Claire.
That's Claire.
Yeah.
What's the thriller writer in me is thinking Clarice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Clarice. Or,
Yeah.
I was thinking of the drug company, Claritin.
Linda, what did Mig say to you when you passed his cell?
I know, right?
All right.
Creepiest movie
All
ever.
right, yeah, I
Silence
was...
of the Lambs for all of you young ones
it-
listening that
Yes.
don't know that movie.
What a great movie.
It was great.
I saw that first run in the theater. I was working actually in Los Angeles. I was working for an LA radio station. I was like 24 years old. I was out in LA, and I saw that when it first opened up, the first weekend, and that movie put me on the edge of my seat. I mean, that was the most thrilling movie that I had seen to date was The Silence of the Lambs.
Scariest villain, I think.
Yeah.
Because of the control he had.
Yeah.
You know?
But Anthony Hopkins, I mean, what I'm sorry, Sir Anthony
Sir
Hopkins.
Anthony.
You know, the guy could just sell anything.
Oh.
I mean, just a phenomenal actor. All right, so let me finish up the list. Tanya. I think, you know.
I know Tanya's.
Yeah, I know Tanya's.
I know
Yeah.
Tanya's in our
But-
age range.
But have you known a
Yeah.
Tanya born
No.
since Nancy
No.
Kerrigan got clubbed in the leg?
No.
See,
Oh,
No.
wait, not.
Yeah.
Why me? Why me? Yeah.
Tanya Harding single-handedly killed the name
Yeah.
Tanya.
I think you might be right.
Lorraine.
Ooh,
Not many Lorraines.
You know, all of these names, except for Claire, they've all been 2 syllables. Are they not long enough? Now there needs to be Michaela and Daviana. and-
Right. The more exotic names.
Right.
If you had a choice and you could only name your daughter 2 names, 2 options, Lorraine or Lurleen, what would it be?
Lorraine, because I can't even pronounce Lorleen.
Lurleen.
I'd go with Lurleen.
What was that from? What was Lurleen from? That was from some movie or
I don't
something.
know, but if
Yeah.
Dunice isn't on this list,
Nope. There is no Dunice. Wayne is on the
Thank
list.
Wayne.
Beverly, no Beverlys.
Oh, okay.
I dated a Beverly. She got broadsided by a dump truck. Yeah.
Oh, bad for Beverly.
I mean-
Joy.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Story.
She's not going to be at my
True story.
40th high school reunion in
Apparently,
October.
MJ dated 2
Yeah.
girls in high school, both of which have passed.
Yeah. Oh, no,
Yeah,
seriously,
so, yeah, he's
Linda.
Like, he's like the Black Widow of Cox
Linda.
High School in Virginia Beach.
Folks, Linda Hurtado is in the studio with us from Fox 13. So my 40th high school reunion is in October in Virginia Beach.
Okay.
Flying up. There's a whole like spreadsheet that's being circulated, a Google spreadsheet
Right.
with all of our information. And it's a little morbid, but on the spreadsheet, we had like 353 or 370 seniors that graduated. And on the list, anybody that's deceased, their line is gray across the spreadsheet. And then there's a link to like the memorial notice online, the funeral home stuff.
my.
And 2 of the women I actually dated.
No more.
I mean, those are bad odds there, So 2
He didn't have that many dates in
I was
high
going to
school.
ask him out of how many, but I thought
He didn't
maybe
really get
So
around.
Monique was one, and she died, and then Beverly got hit by a dump truck.
Oh my God,
True.
what a great premise for your next book. Some local radio guy who dates girls and they mysteriously die weeks or
That's
months
not
later.
bad, actually.
Yeah.
That's not bad. But can
Yeah.
we make it current day?
And then he becomes like the main suspect, but he has nothing to do with it.
I'm like the kiss of high school dating death over here.
Yes.
It's
and
like
it's someone setting you
yeah.
up.
The Deadly DJ.
Yeah.
The Deadly DJ? Is that the title?
We should collab
Oh
on
my
this.
gosh, Fester, you're right.
Yes.
You
Linda
know-
Hurtado Bond and Fester.
It has a ring to
It
it.
really does.
I have so many ideas for books, and but
Of course you do. Sit back, everybody. Here comes the idea train.
no, I'm not going to spill them because they're so good. I don't want to
steal them.
So I have
Roxanne's writing a book too. Did you know?
Yes.
Yeah,
She's
well,
writing a thriller.
I know.
Yay.
I think Roxanne's been writing a book since the day I met her.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
guess what? It's going to be really good. That's why it's taking a long time.
But I have all these book ideas written down,
Okay.
I've got Microsoft. I've got the notes.
Are they thrillers?
Yeah.
Are they romances? Are
No,
they
no. They're
action adventure.
But it's funny you talked about the killer DJ. No, I have
something similar.
I have a really interesting concept. I don't know if I have the discipline to write.
It's hard. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
it takes hours every day.
I know. All right. So the final names on the extinct list here. You've got, I did Beverly, Dawn. No more Dawns, D-A-W-N.
Delta Dawn.
Yeah.
Remember?
What's that flower you have on?
That's right.
Helen
Thank
Reddy.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stuart, Denise, Keith, and Barry. Yeah.
Barry.
Not many boys. Hey, let's name our bouncing baby boy. Yeah. August of 2024, there are no boys being born that are named Barry.
No.
Yeah. Rufus. I think Rufus
is more popular than Barry right now.
I think Rufus was done by the 1930s, to be quite honest. Hey, Linda, great to have you. And if you want to hang out for a little bit, we have one more segment to go if you'd like to hang out. I'm looking at my stack here, and we have a lot. We always do. I never short shrift you. You don't get like the scraps and the crap for the final segment. Like sometimes in TV news, they put the junk at the end of the news.
It's called the kicker. It's the happy story.
Yeah, sometimes. All right. Anyways, so all
you don't have a happy story?
Yeah. All killer, no filler. Final chunk of the MJ Morning Show is next here on Q105. Stand by. TwoCollegeBrothers.com is your moving company. 9:35 at the MJ Morning Show. Don't forget, the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher is back again just after 3 o'clock today with Gino. Gino's our afternoon guy, and Gino will whip out the Inflation Smasher again. Your chance to win up to $1,000, nothing less than $500. Listen, I don't need to tell you this, but you've been whacked over the head like a whack-a-mole, except with it like being kind of a softer mallet. You're getting hit over the head with like a sledgehammer with high prices. They can say, oh, inflation is cooling. But see, the misnomer is that, oh, it doesn't mean prices are coming down. It means that the inflation of the increase percentage might be slowing down in certain areas, but it doesn't mean the prices have come down from the over 9% inflation that we did have over the last couple of years.
Wow, you should have been an economics teacher. Oh, you really missed your calling with this radio crap.
I did take macro and micro in college. Yes, I did. All right, listen, bottom line is we're helping you beat the hell out of high prices and inflation with the Inflation Smasher. You listen to the radio station. You listen to Q105 at 104.7 FM. After 8 o'clock, I tell you when to call in, what number caller to be. After 3, Gino's going to tell you today what caller to be. You call in, and if you're the lucky caller, you get to play the game, smash the glass, and see how much money is behind the Inflation Smasher wall of money. So it'll happen again after 3. Then we'll play again tomorrow morning here on the MJ Morning Show just after 8 a.m. So stand by. This is a great story. I mean, some people are kind of spooked and they're kind of freakified over facial recognition. But have you noticed when you travel now that, when I came back into the country, I was in Little Cayman. So I went to the smallest of the Cayman Islands just back at the end of July, did some scuba diving with some friends of mine. And coming back in, and I noticed this on some of my recent trips, you don't
show your passport anymore.
You just walk up.
Yep.
Yeah. I think they looked at it, but you just walk up and the camera takes your picture and boom. Now I do mobile passport,
right?
Which, people, you travel a lot. You ought to get global entry. I got to be honest. I'm eligible. My American Express card gives me free global entry. That's kind of a hassle. TSA pre-check is kind of easy to do.
Well, I have global.
You have global
reentry. It took me 5 minutes coming back from Europe.
Yeah, but
everybody else is in big old line.
But with mobile passport, I've beaten some people with global entry through.
Re-entry? Wow.
Yes. Ooh, you beat them by 35 seconds. Big deal.
I came back to Tampa. Obviously, I cleared customs at Tampa International, and I rolled into the mobile passport line. I was number 1, and boom. And there were still people at the global entry kiosks,
It's so convenient, but doesn't it scare you a little to think that now they see your face, MJ, and they probably know everything about you in 15 seconds?
Biometrics. It's all biometric. You're 100% right. And this is going somewhere. There's a reason why I'm bringing this up. But when I came back into the country the last couple of times, they just take a picture of your face, and that's it. Mm-hmm. And the computer has all your coordinates, all the lines, the distance from your eyes, your nose. They have you. So facial recognition now, boom, in seconds, they know exactly who you are.
And whether they need to arrest you.
Well, guess what? This woman, you hear about the story at Tampa International?
When was this week?
Yeah, so a woman was arrested on Thursday. The story's just coming out. Mm-hmm. I don't know why it took so long to come out. But a woman was arrested last Thursday by federal authorities. The TSA's facial recognition software detected the passenger was trying to use somebody else's ID.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Busted.
And a boarding pass at Tampa International Airport. A security officer that was working at Airside A, must be Spirit, Brittany Lynn. Hey, listen, I flew Spirit for the first time. I needed, my dad's getting older, and they're in Fort Lauderdale, and the flight that worked was Spirit. I had never been on Spirit Airlines until last late spring. I liked it. I had no issues. I was waiting for like chickens to walk down the aisle.
Listen, MJ had no issues flying with you.
Call me if that
masses.
happens, okay?
If it's going to happen on anyone, it's going to be Spirit.
Yeah, but I had no issues. But
so she used somebody else's ID.
Yeah. So Brittany Lynn Anderson sounds like a country singer, doesn't it? Brittany Lynn Anderson, straight from Nashville. What's the country bar that?
WTF?
Welcome
to the farm where the
Dallas Bull.
Yeah, Dallas Bull.
There you go.
Yeah, the Hawk. The Hawk Tua girl. She's gonna be She's gonna be at the WTF.
Welcome to the farm country bar in a couple of weeks
in St. Pete. They're bringing her in.
Bring a whole news crew.
The Dallas Bull, tonight only. It's Brittany Lynn Anderson at the Dallas Bull, 38 years old, of Tampa. She puts the driver license. That's another thing. You know, in Florida, it's not a driver's license. In Florida, it's a driver license. I don't know why. Every other state, it's driver's license.
Can we get out of the weeds on this story?
Yes,
okay,
hang on a minute. I'm telling the damn story. All right. So she sticks the license into the license reader, but she was also facially scanned, and the machine said,
not a match.
Nope. The machine said, facial recognition, and the driver license doesn't match. And yes, she was a Spirit Airlines passenger. That's true. She
how
really
far
was.
is this going to go, though? What if
What was she charged with? False.
Oh, yeah.
Using other IDs?
Yeah. So she tried to board a Spirit Airlines flight. She had a Spirit Airlines boarding pass, which belonged to somebody else. So this is all in the arrest report. She apparently told the officer that she was going through some rough times, and that's why she looks different on the ID. No, you look different on the ID because it's not you. That's why you look different. Yeah, she apparently told the officer that her ID was expired and that she asked a friend to purchase the ticket under somebody else's name so she could fly to Las Vegas.
Going to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Don't people understand that these days you just can't do any of that anymore? Artificial intelligence has got you nailed.
Oh, it does. You want to know about the charges? She was arrested on a charge of criminal use of personal identification information. That sounds felonious to me. That doesn't sound quite misdemeanor-ish.
Yeah, that does sound like a big charge. How far is this going to go, though?
Where did Roxanne go?
I don't know.
Do we know where Roxanne is, Andrew?
She'll be back. Or not. Certainly one of the two.
It's the final.
She's coming back.
It's the final minutes of the show.
Okay, listen. How far is this AI stuff going to go? MJ, if I go to the airport with my real ID, but I happen to have a couple of warrants out, which I may or may not have at any given
Dude,
time.
you're going to get nailed.
That sucks. Then you have a warrant, you can't travel.
Hold on.
That sucks.
Wait a minute.
Maybe just don't get a warrant out.
No.
Hold on. You've got warrants for your arrest.
Like all
and
petty crimes.
You think that it's a nuisance that they've got facial recognition?
There should be a barometer
to pull you out of the crowd.
Yeah, they're going to nail you on your warrants?
If I have
you should be able to get on the airplane and travel with your warrants for your arrest.
Okay.
And I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for these menacing facial recognition software machines.
Okay, if I have a warrant for carjacking, then maybe stop me. But if I owe the IRS a couple of years' taxes, let me go on my trip.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, are they going to stop everybody?
A warrant is a warrant. If you've got an unpaid speeding ticket out of Polk County,
this is awful.
A warrant is a warrant.
Well, if I'm busted on a red light camera, you can't board your flight until you pay this $200 fine.
I don't think it'll be a red light camera.
Who knows? This is where it's headed.
Anyway.
I just hope it doesn't get to the point where, like, the facial recognition goes, "Good afternoon, Linda. You're looking rough today."
We almost didn't recognize you, but we did.
Exactly.
Yeah. What happens where people get flagged because it really is them, but they really do look rough?
I'm going to start wearing an eye patch to the airport or something. Throw them off.
Roxanne is transitioning? That's where she is?
Hold
what
on.
did you say, Andrew?
Andrew, speak on the mic.
Andrew,
I was saying that what if somebody is making major changes to their face?
Oh, I thought you said that Roxanne was out of the studio because she's transitioning.
Okay. We heard the word transitioning and then, okay, never mind. So Roxanne's not transitioning. But what if somebody is?
Hey, guess who's getting pictures of guys' junk?
Leave the old lady alone.
Sir, this is a problem. Listen, the Golden Bachelorette is getting pictures. Oh, yeah.
Okay, can I just say, if you're going on any of those programs like that, you kind of know what you're going to get yourself into.
You know
right?
Yeah, you kind of opening yourself up. But listen, should the Golden Bachelorette on ABC, should she be, subjected to getting D-pics? Come on.
She's a pretty lady.
Yeah, I mean, she looks great. The Golden Bachelorette
What is the age for Golden? Like, what?
Oh, she's 96.
That is old.
Linda, she is the best-looking 96.
No. How old is she?
I have a few years to go then.
She's got original hips and everything.
How old is she? she hasn't had hip replacements
She has
yet.
original hips.
Yeah.
Joan Vassos is 61.
Yeah, she looks she looks fantastic. She looks great. Now I don't watch these shows, but I've seen the stories, as I'm surfing and doing show prep.
Well, they had the Golden Bachelor last year, and they got married at the end of the season, and it lasted like 100 days.
Yeah, like 3 weeks, and then
But isn't that the same with the young people too? So I guess it just doesn't matter how old you are. Maybe you should get to know someone first.
Why waste your time? Come on. So she was speaking with Entertainment Weekly, and I guess she said that she's getting all kinds of unwanted
you bet she is.
pics, and that now her kids have to monitor her phone. So if she's 61, her kid's got to be, late 20s or 30s, right?
It depends.
If she's 61.
If she had kids when she was 25.
It depends.
The kids are in the late 30s, yeah.
Right. But listen, I stop sending the Golden Bachelorette, wiener pictures, okay? Would you please?
That seems like it goes with the territory. I mean, if you're going to be the Golden Bachelorette and tell me you're looking for love, I'm sending you some stuff.
I did not get to the dog story. I'll tell you what. I'll tease this. I'll give you a little bit because I did mention it. And I want to get into this in much more detail later on. First of all, when any surveys are done, most people consider a dog like a member of the family. I do.
I do too.
Yeah, we've got 2 Jack Russell Terriers. We've had a series of Jack Russells over the years. To me, they're the most incredible breed. I love their energy. They're even more wired up and ramped up than I am. But I love Jack Russells. So we do consider our dogs members of the family. And that's a high percentage. This particular survey, it's 85%. But do you know the cost, the average cost of what it costs to have a dog?
I just know that my son has a Frenchie and an older Frenchie.
A French bulldog?
French bulldog, and spent thousands.
Yeah. Well, don't they have medical problems?
And so he was talking now about, I guess you can get pet insurance, for medical insurance for your dog.
It was part of our coverage. We just had open enrollment here, and one of the options were, do you want pet insurance?
I had always heard that
maybe consider it.
But I've always heard that pet insurance is not worth it, and it's kind of I
mean, your dog has to get hit by a car for it to kick in.
I don't know. Anyway.
Thousands of dollars in medical expenses, though, so that's not even food and toys and,
What's the number for an annual on average? I would guess somewhere around $2,000.
I
say more.
You're close. It's average is
average.
Average is a little over $1,500.
I'm not talking about bougie people who have like French bulldogs. I'm talking about people who have mutts too.
This is nuts. If you own a large dog can cost at least $1,570 a year. All right. Forbes says when it's all said and done, the figures may reach upward of $22,000 over a dog's 12-year lifespan for a larger breed. So $22,000. That's like an entry-level Kia.
Yeah.
Is it? You say that, but I think the Kias are a little bit more than that. I gotta look it up now.
Plus, the Kias don't love you unconditionally like your dog used to.
Right. So, do we know where Roxanne went?
She actually went to the Kia dealership to look for the 2024 Kia Forte for $18,700. MJ, you were completely right.
See?
Yes.
My daughter drives a Kia.
Yes.
All right, so hold on, Andrew, what is that?
She said she's dealing with an urgent situation. I don't know what that means.
Okay. Listen,
Roxanne is dealing with an urgent situation. I hope it's nothing serious. Hope it's all right.
Well, it is
Linda,
urgent.
thanks for filling in while Roxanne.
I'm filling in for Roxanne.
Yeah,
come in anytime.
Who's dealing with an urgent situation?
I would always help my friend out.
All right. By the way, Kelly Ring.
Yes.
Kelly, who retired, over a year ago now?
It's been over a year ago.
She just texted my wife looking for some tips for one of her kids for New York City. So,
oh, nice. Yeah. Her kids are so amazing.
They are.
Yours too.
Do you remember? Well, thank you. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember. Kelly remembers this when Kelly gave birth to her first child, which was Clark.
Right. Who now has a child.
Yes, it's unbelievable. So Kelly Ring, formerly of Fox 13, when she gave birth to Clark back in the mid-1990s, we did sort of a contest to name Kelly Ring's baby. And the number one name was Lurch.
I'm so glad she went with Clark.
I am still pissed off to this day that Kelly Ring didn't
take your suggestion.
Did not name her firstborn boy Lurch. Baby Lurch is what we called him. Yeah. Baby Lurch.
For years, people would walk up to Kelly and ask, how's Lurch?
Guess what? Kelly says they still do.
Really?
Just in the last year or so, Kelly said, hey, and you know what? I still have people occasionally say, hey, remember when MJ wanted to name your kid Baby Lurch?
He had to move because of that.
That's why.
We got to roll, folks. Gino's got the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher again just after 3 o'clock today. And we've got it back again tomorrow morning at 8. Your chance to win up to $1,000. Never less than $500. So stand by to play again at 3. Then again tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Folks, have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. And hey. Let's be careful out there.